T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody. So I imagine we're probably not going to have anything resembling even what would look like our normal turnout. Hi. You're a good girl. You come over here. You going to stay there? Okay. Well, and I say that because, Frenchie's still alive. She went way over. She did the entire stream on the whole, what do you call it? The podcast, knockoff podcast deal. So she's still going strong right now. So I don't see maybe but just a handful of folks being here for a little while. Couple things. First things first, y'all, thank y'all for just kind of like bearing with me the other day when I had that transient moment of insanity there. When I kept saying that I woke up in a funk and I couldn't put my finger on what it was, even after I got offline, I was just like super emotional and, verging on weepy. And, I woke up the next morning finding out exactly the reason why I was in such a state of funk. Because of being in the peripause, it has been a little while since the maintenance fee on my uterus has come through, and I completely forgot about it, and there we were. So what all of that funkadelic, I don't know what's wrong with me, something's off, I don't feel right, all of that was the illustrious hormones. And because it had been so long, I couldn't place it. So yeah. So there you go. I was being a crazy person for an actual valid reason, aside from the fact that, like I said, I did have a little ego moment there, but I am so glad that you guys are so patient with me. And actually were telling me flat out, they're like, nope, you lost it. You're not seeing things right. Calm the fuck down. I appreciate that from every single one of you guys, I just got back from class. And amazingly enough, despite the fact that I told you all that I blanked the last time I was in class, I actually I didn't do great on my test that I took last time, but I didn't fail. So, I'll take it. C's make degrees, y'all. If y'all ain't figured that out, you'll get paid the same for a C grade on your degree as you will for an A on your degree. And I can tell you, I'm not going to be one of those people that I end up boohoo crying because I made a C. I'm just not. My mom was one of those people. I can remember a time at dinner where she made a B and she sat at the dinner table and cried because she made a B. And I'm not fixing to do that. I'm just not, especially not since I'm going back to school after all this time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with our roll call. We got Miss Patricia. Hello, darling. How are you? Miss Nicole, if you can't make it, you can't make it, baby. That's the reason why there's always the replay, love. It's good to see that you made it, though. Hi, Hannibal. How you doing? Grateful Life, president of my fan club right there. How you doing, love? Tragically delicious. I'll be watching from my bed with a heating pad, a bunch of meds, and a protein shake till something kicks in and I'll fall out. What'd you do to yourself? Tragic? Yeah. Oh, don't tell me you're down with something bad. Oh, no. There is Leanie Bo. How are you, dear? Good to see you. Hey, Fatty the Fed. Good to see you, baby. I appreciate you. I appreciate you getting at me in my comments, girl. Hi, Miggy. Oh, I'm gonna call you Mig because I'm gonna mess that up. Hi, Mig. How are you, baby? Enola, how are you? Thank you so much. Good to see you always. Hi, Olga. Hi, Fiona's mom. Hi, SH. Hi, Sepher. Um, Fecal capacity syndrome sounds like what I lost, like my cat had recently, cost me $1,000 to fix. Holy moly. And of course, that would be the case with, vet costs. Hi, Boo. Thank you. Thank you for making it, baby. It's good to see you. And I'm glad that you came through and kind of were one amidst the many that help screw my head back on straight. You know what I mean? Hi, Melody. SH, I bailed on the tail end of FFG stream. She's just wrapping up. Oh, okay. All right. Well, cool. Zephyr, look at you. Thank you for the super sticker. That is so incredibly sweet of you. I appreciate that. You are amazing. Let's see. Let's see who all else we got here. Hi, Rudy. You didn't give me no timestamp today. How you feeling? Hello, Nora. Hi, Grebo. Little mama, we gotta pick a spot for you. You gotta pick a spot, mama. We're trying to get some stuff done and we can't do it with kitty button away. Hi, Kristen. Yeah, she's like meowdy, meowdy. Hi, Leona. Good to see you made it, love. Fiona's mom, thank you. You didn't have to do that, girl. Just having you here is more than enough, But I appreciate that. Have a happy late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too, and anybody else that wasn't here during that time frame. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love you too. Can we pick a spot and lay down? Can we pick a spot and settle? Hey, can we settle? Miss Lady. Hey, can I get you to come over here? Thank you. You're a good girl. You are. Let's see. All righty. All right. So, what do you say we get into some... Do we want to start off with some positivity or end with some positivity? What are we thinking? Good gracious, tragically delicious. Girl, you so good to me. Thank you. I appreciate you. You are just an awesome, awesome chick. You know that? I love you. Look at this. Look at this. My favorite internet pirate has come on board. How about that? See, Grebo's voting for positivity at the end. So I leave it up to you. I'm seeing another one at the end. All right. Well, I'm guessing you guys are probably going to be like, we're going to go through the insanity and then we're just going to drown ourselves in negative and then counteract it with a positive. Yep, there's another one right at the end. Yeah, okay. All right. I always leave it. So if you like, that will be our deal, is we will go through all the negative foolishness and then we'll lead out with some positive. And there you go. See, excellent point. Better to end on a high note. I can agree with that. Let's see. So we're going to kick off with old crazy woman. I didn't dig into no ALR stuff. I heard some stuff on ALR come steamrolling through. But because of having to go to class, I didn't have time to do no digging through on that. But hang on just a minute. But I will say this. ALR needs to sit her ass down looking like a shih tzu, trying to come through with some attitude like she's something. Ma'am, the shih tzu grooming community wants their hair cut back. Would you please quit this foolishness? You a grown-ass woman. Jesus. Okay, so... well, I guess if she's raging, she's still alive. Well, that's true. Hey, I'm just saying, Hannibal, I had to point out the obvious. I mean, she got that little pigtail like this on top of her head looking like a little shih tzu dog. That's all I could, looking like a fat shih tzu. I mean, I just couldn't even. I was like, ma'am, how you going to come on here acting extra when you look like somebody's little lap dog? I can't believe she's even showing her face after that snowflake episode dropped. Girl, that's probably what spurred some of it, because she's just as narcissistic as this one right here we see on the stream. ALR needs to sit her ass down, let her mama do her laundry at the laundromat. Oh, Foodie was heavy on the filters. Girl, we gonna talk about that, because that's one of the many things that she gets into on all this. So, all right, let's take us a breath. Let's center and woosah, because we're not gonna let this woman irritate us tonight. We're just gonna call facts. All right, let's go.
All I can say, he is
put your butt on the speaker
because he chooses to. This is not it for him. I would like to continue with the couples videos.
I bet you would.
Quite honest, I would love to. Someone asked, why does he film you in the most unflattering ways?
Hi, Rose. Good to see you, honey. So she makes comment that Saul is not coming back on here, that this isn't for him, and so on and so forth. And she makes a comment further along in the stream about how, he wants to develop his life more, and, this is just not his thing. I bet you it ain't his thing now that he's done embarrassed himself for the whole wide world to see from now through the end of perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he can't undo that. He can't. Poopgate will continue to follow him for the rest of the duration of his natural life. So yeah, I think he's done learn the hard way. She's done learn the hard way. Rephrase that. They both done learn the hard way that this ain't for him. And her saying that she would love to continue to actually keep doing couples videos, of course she would, because she's not the one that ended up looking like a full-blown fool. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. She did end up looking like a fool in it because she went running back to the dude, but not nearly as bad in all this as he did. And that's part of the reason why I think she's like, oh, I would love to keep doing couples content. That's why. Hey. Hello, handsome man. Can we pick a spot, please? With your gray butt. He's turning into an old man. He's getting gray hairs. I still love him, though. Oh, let's see. Yeah, but angry butt worms. I love that. Shouldn't nobody be shocked by that, though, Rose? I mean, come on, if you'll think about it. I mean, that's kind of her MO. She talks trash and then she deletes it like it's never going to... she can act like it's never happened. I never said that. I'm above all that. I don't get why she's so pissy answering these questions. She's the one that picked them. I agree. But, I think realistically, her response and her coming on there so smug and so snappy at people has more to do with what happened before she started that stream or started videoing, as it were. There's some... pretty safe to say that there's probably some stuff going on with them in relation to dynamics that, kind of cued this little attitude. Hi, Tink. Well, thank you. I'm glad you do. And I enjoy having you here, honey. It's good to see you. It's been a minute or two, I don't know. Maybe another one of them ingrown hairs on his butt kind of tore him up a little bit. Cause with, those types of cysts in the at the coccyx, which is the point of your booty where your butt crack is, them boogers, they ingrown hair turns into an infection really fast, really easy. They get humongous, and the only way to fix them is to cut them open, lance them, and clean them out. So maybe that's because you remember she was yelling on live stream, "Your hairy ass, your hairy ass." That's probably part of it. He is too much of a coward to do a full cringe YouTube apology, as he should next to his poor son. I agree. Couldn't agree more. But, he's embarrassed himself. He can't come strolling through here like I am Sultan Salah, because he's made himself basically look like the court jester, She wants to make out online. That's so middle school. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Man, this chat is moving quicker than usual. Oh, I agree, Mouse Toes. How you doing, by the way? The girl cycles so fast she could give somebody whiplash. He is probably walking around on eggshells all the time. Right. I mean, realistically, I don't think so either. And I mean, if he were there, one would think that she would be trying to get his attention instead of people online. I think that BC, she doesn't watch us reaction channels, and we reaction channels are answering the questions for her. I think she wanted her content question before we all answer the questions for her. That's true. It absolutely does. Imagine having your pants perpetually rubbing on a sore spot, not being able to sit down correctly because of pressure applied to it. Yeah, they are very uncomfortable, and cutting into them does make the pain go away because there's pressure inside of that pustule. And I will tell you this, as somebody who's had to be there to help cut those open and clean them out and all that stuff, you want to talk about functified? Woo, Jesus. Got to have a strong stomach to be working around stuff like that. To me, it's weird. Either of them think they're so important to ask people to ask them questions. I know I'm not that important or interesting. I'd never purposely offer for people to ask questions. Well, actually, Fiona's mom, I actually did that at one point, kind of like taking a shot at ALR. And the only one that I only think I had like maybe like 2 or 3 questions. And one of them was Inferno here, where he was asking me who would win fights, the Pope or Gandhi, back in the day. I mean, it was off the chain with some of the stuff he was coming up with, but the rest of them were pretty, there was only just a couple. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do that then, because I mean, there's not really enough to sit down and do with, this is worse, and he has an ego appearance he cares about most. Right. That's 100% true. I honestly believe he's still fucked himself. I'm just going on a different pattern. Well, maybe, but I mean, if he had already kind of transversed from this to another platform, like if he'd gone to Twitch or if he'd gone to Rumble, realistically, somebody would have found him already. I would say probably the Pope, because the Pope is better well fed. Gandhi back in the day didn't have a lot of meat on him. So, he ain't working with a lot of muscle or a lot of strength. So, yeah, hey, there you go. Hannibal said it would be a prey off as to who would get that down, So, okay, let us continue.
I am who I am. And I mean, I'm not ashamed of myself.
Sure.
To tell him what angles to shoot me in and what to do. I kind of direct him how I want to be filmed. But I'm not like a catfish, and I don't hold my camera high up here most of the time.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
So who it is, Den Foodie? Who's this? Because this ain't you, ma'am. Now, tell us again how you're not a catfish. Tell us again how you ain't a catfish, ma'am. Jesus. Hey, no, I'm just calling it like I see it, man. You got to take physicality into it all. You know what I mean? I would think so too. And the Pope has been he's been put up in a pretty swank joint. He ain't really had to do no scrapping for himself. You know what I mean? Hi, Smee. Good to see you, honey. How you doing tonight? And I have a question. When did you first acknowledge to yourself that you are consumed by pure envy of Ambi and Chantal? Read the sex rights. Address it. Oh man, I have been envious since the first breath I have ever taken. I have always wanted to be a 400+ pound death bat. I've wanted to be that so much that I took every step in the great wide world to stop me from becoming that. Lord have mercy. The envy is absolutely real, girl. No question. Let's see. No shit. Them some powerful girl. Hey, I'm surprised she ain't having trouble breathing. She got that shit tight as a drum head on it, man. Jesus, age. I love how her chin rolls up with the heat job wrinkles. That's true. She doesn't really realize. She doesn't really realize it. She thinks in her mind that she actually kind of looks good. Let's see. Well, speaking of your fish, your tank is really neat. Love the colors. Right. All right.
I'm just not fake like that. So.
Ooh. I'm
434 likes. Hi, Foodie. Quick question. How did you manage to gain 13 pounds? It's called binging.
Okay. I want y'all to let's talk for a minute about how quickly her narrative shifts from one direction to the next.
Binge eating disorder. You could probably Google it.
Just a couple days before this,
people calculated you had to eat 46,000 calories last week. That's not even possible. Also,
we did the math on it, y'all. We did the math on it. Okay. Old girl had to eat 8,200 calories a day. But yet here we are after the fact, and she's wanting to use that binge eating disorder as why does she gained all that weight. But 2 days before that, that's not even possible. Yeah, boo-boo, it is possible. We broke it down more than once.
The type of food I would eat, a lot of sodium would make me retain a lot of fluid. But I would
boo-boo, you gained 13 pounds. All 13 pounds of that is not water weight. If it were, you would be in the hospital inpatient getting diuretics to help pull the fluid off of you. Okay? It pisses me off that these girls jump straight to its water weight. Nah, ma'am, you pound or two, maybe. I'll give you that. But 13 damn pounds of it? No. No, ma'am. No. She would literally be drowning. She would be at a point where she could not breathe if she gained that much fluid.
I'm doing really well. I haven't binged in a while.
13 pounds over the course of the week has pretty much let us know.
Lie detector determined that was a lie.
Okay, 1,800 calories a day, ma'am, pretty much lets us know.
Lie detector determined that was a lie.
Okay, I'm calling Maury out on your ass, because the fact is you ain't pulling the wool over nobody's eyes here, dear. Right there, she had a hamburger eyes, hamburger ears. She had a hamburger in each hand. Oh, girl, she went on a burger gangbang the way things is looking, because she had one in each hand and one stuck in her mouth all the same go. Sister girl. Right, and we already know that's the point that I'm making, Miss Fiona, is the fact that she's already got fluid buildup in her abdomen. We know this based on what we've seen of her, that barrel shape, the fact that she's got ongoing issues here, and she's had this distended belly for a while now. That's part of the reason why she's huffing and puffing and looking like she's struggling every time she moves. If she jumped another 13 pounds worth of fluid on her, she would be in the hospital. Peachy, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm like, no ma'am. Just how I was raised, I can't help it.
I try to do what the doctors tell me. Actually, he goes for a more balanced way of eating.
I don't know much about it, but I was thinking about you today. What is the difference between her and Prader-Willi syndrome? That's an excellent question. I'm going to be absolutely 100% truthful with you. It's been a little... Let me look it up. I ain't going to tell you no lie, girl. I don't see that. I don't see that a lot. Well, right off the bat, the life expectancy on that is a lot shorter. The average life expectancy for somebody with Prader-Willi is about 30 years. it's a rarity for them to live. I mean, they can live up to 60, they can have a full length life, but, obviously it's going to be more reduced because of all the secondary issues that come with it. And, based on this too, because I mean, there's actual developmental delay. There will be intellectual disability. And even though she does act like she's developmentally delayed at times. And there are things about her that make her unbearable. She's still functioning cognitively at an adult level. I would say if you want to see the difference between cognitive delay and adult functioning in relation, you can just take a look at Foodie and Sala. Sala leans more to the cognitive delay side and behaving below his age group versus Chantal. Let's see. Well, I mean, I think honestly, I mean, based on Chantal's history, I mean, I agree with you there. But part of that, I think, on her issue, I mean, when she was a child, she was an overweight child, but she wasn't like super morbidly obese, and I think that's some of it. Her excessive weight gain didn't really start until she was an adult. You know what I mean? I believe so, yeah. Well, I agree with there. If you are in painful hunger every moment. Well, see, and that's the thing. That right there by itself sort of kind of lets you know. I mean, because she does get full, I mean, Foodie does get full. I mean, we know this. She'll eat to a point where she is so miserably full that she feels pitiful. So, I mean, we do know that it is possible. But she stays in a constant state where she's always hungry, even though she eats to the point of past full, I'm dead serious. Having the kind of diet she does is likely causing mild brain damage. Well, I mean, the excessive blood sugars and stuff absolutely could do some damage. There's no question on that. Chantal's delay is attributed to her environment as a child, not a genetic or neurological issue. Exactly. She's basically stunted in relation to not actually learning anything. It is nurture versus the nature side of it all, Hi, la-di-da. Have fun folding laundry. I actually have some that I need to fold too. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of putting it off. They're still in the dryer. Yeah. She kind of went off the rails in her teens. Chantal is at the level of capacity that's just above considered special needs, in my opinion. She hovers in the zone, plays on it for sympathy when it suits her. She is clever in manipulation. That's very true. That's very true. Non-alcoholic wet brain. Oh, see, I'm gonna let you. We're gonna let Nora have it because I'm not allowed to diagnose people.
So
okay, so I stopped this right here and I left this section in because here she is talking about, here's what my doctor laid out for me. Ma'am, this is exactly what your doctor would probably want for you in relation to what you're eating. But what you're doing is absolutely nothing like this. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about this. You trying to play this off just because it's something that you can use to deflect, we're not going to let that slide.
Like, I'll put some screenshots, but like basically, yeah, just food balance and combining carbs with, healthy carbs with other food groups.
Okay. Now I thought we were supposed to be balancing carbs with other food groups. I thought that's what we were supposed to be doing. I mean, that was the whole point behind you showing us this little divided plate and all, and the way things are supposed to be broke down, Right. Zephyr, that's exactly thank you for the super chat, baby. That's exactly the point that I'm making. How exactly is that plate working when the whole thing is nothing but carbohydrates, ma'am? Exactly. And I said this in the last stream when we actually talked about this. Her trying to say this is whole wheat pasta. The fact is there is only about 6 grams less in relation to carbs in whole wheat pasta versus the crap that she's got on that plate right there. And even then, kind of like what Nora's saying here, it should really only be a fourth of that. She should have had some chicken. She should have had some steak. She could have had her little lobster roll. She could have had something there and some salad, and she probably would have been fine. But instead, we want to take, well, first off, we got this right here that they ain't no telling what the hell that is other than nasty, which I can confirm is nasty. And then you got this right here, which ain't nothing but carbohydrates. And then you got that right there that ain't nothing but salt. So, come on, come on now. I mean, let's be realistic. She is not ever going to do what they recommend for her to do. She's going to lie to whichever provider that she sees and say, oh, yeah, absolutely. I struggle a little bit. I still want stuff, but I'm still doing pretty good. No, ma'am. This is one of the biggest issues that I have with foodies. She is incredibly dishonest, not only with herself, but with her medical providers, which, if you're going to be honest with anybody, you should absolutely be honest with them. Lord, I didn't realize.
Why are you not taking insulin to get your blood sugars back to normal and avoid further damage to your body? You were not able to do it with just medication. 10 is not a good fasting blood sugar.
It's not.
So this is the point where your doctor should be putting you on insulin. Okay. So Gorlash, I'm not a doctor. I did bring that up to him. He doesn't think I need to be on insulin, so he didn't prescribe me insulin. Actually,
yet. He hasn't yet. I do think that in all sincerity that the Janumet that they're giving her is obviously not doing it. At 100, a fasting blood sugar of 187 is, number one, that is not a suitable number. And I agree with you, Shelley. The fact is she didn't, I can almost guarantee you she didn't tell that man that she had binge eating disorder, because if she had, he would have slapped her ass on some insulin in addition to the Janumet. Yes, obviously we want to prevent and postpone the use of insulin for as long as we can. But someone like her, with her tendencies to eat thousands of calories more than a recommended daily amount for her height and weight, that may be realistically the only thing that keeps her from ending up having any sort of long-term damage to her body, which she's already started developing, So, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating to see as somebody who's worked with people like this. It's like, stop being so dishonest. Just because you can't look at your issues and see them doesn't mean that everybody else can't. Does any nutritionist really need to be told that she has BED? Very rarely does somebody get to that size without it. That's true. That's true. Well, you do obviously have the differential between BED and people who are food addicts. So I guess it would still obviously be something that would need to be documented. Hey, Dusty Butt. Pick a spot and saddle. Pick a spot and saddle. There are so many people in this community that offer her professional advice and help. She is lucky to have them, but refuses any advice. Well, yeah, you can't. It goes back to that age-old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Everybody around her wants the best for her, and she doesn't. Ideally, a good fasting blood sugar. Good fasting blood sugar, you're going to want to be between 80 and 100. Hi, handsome. But on some it will even be lower than that, especially since, with blood work, they usually tell you, come see us first thing in the morning. Don't eat anything after midnight. So you're looking at usually a good 8 hours or more of fasting prior to. So like mine, the last set of blood work that I had, I think my fasting blood sugar was 70. And that's exactly what I did. Stopped eating at 10. Got in the bed, got up, went straight there. Only had a little sip of water and didn't touch anything else. I think the comment about not putting her on insulin is from that visit she posted. She hasn't been back. He gave her a chance to self-correct with just metformin and diet, but she never followed up. Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. The fact is that this whole thing, she went to that endocrinologist for that initial visit because of the readings that she got in relation to the 23 that she was giving us when it was high. And that's all. I mean, she is perfectly content with her blood sugars being at the 10.4 or 187 range. To her, that's fine. Because she's not having any secondary symptoms with that 187, and she'll continue on this path. But I imagine that if she went back for her follow-up exactly as she had been instructed to do, there probably would have been more lab work. There would have been a more in-depth discussion about what she's eating. And I mean, because he put her on a pretty substantial dose of the Janumet. And the fact that she's still high, he would have to make some adjustments to it. You know what I mean? Borderline personality, maybe. She's kind of a fascinating amalgamation of abnormal psychology. She absolutely is. And I need to get up with Kat at some point so that we can meet up later on this week to talk about that, because that's actually Kat's specialty. She does a lot of work in mental health, and she would be able to actually give us the more fine-tuned details on what she sees in relation to foodies' behaviors to kind of help explain everything. Children. What are you doing? Okay, I know, but could you at least sit down for me? I can't deal with the pacing, ma'am. Let's see. She's a grab bag of cluster B personality disorders and an addict with zero motivation or insight to change. Man, that is the high points, the Reader's Digest condensed version on foodie right there if I've ever seen it. He probably wanted to tell her, but Foodie couldn't afford it. He just gave her the basic bitch treatment. That's funny. Okay, thanks. I don't think I've ever had a real fasting blood sugar test then. I'll have to do that for my annual exam. It's always been just over 100, like 104 to 114. Oh, well, that's actually not too bad. And, in all sincerity, your fasting glucose, if you do your CMP, which is your Kim panel, it's usually included in the Kim panel. So you've probably had it done more often than you realize. Chillins. Excuse you.
Actually 10 for now. It hasn't been that long I've been on medication, and it went from 23 to 10. So that is pretty good right now.
See, in her mind, she's exactly where she wants to be.
If it doesn't go down in the future, maybe we'll look at that. I don't know. But I also haven't been completely eating in a very diabetic-friendly way.
No shit.
Have you looked at the symptoms of oppositional defiant disorder and borderline personality disorder? No. Do you believe you might be experiencing disorders? Is it possible that you're addicted to stress? No.
I think so.
Additionally, why are you not interested in learning to speak Arabic, especially considering your desire to live there for a while? Your husband's first language and as a means to show appreciation for the culture. I appreciate the culture. Doesn't mean I have to speak the language.
That's the part that gets me. I appreciate the culture, but it doesn't mean that I have to speak the language. I mean, that would just be, and maybe it's just me, but if I were going to move to Italy, then I'm pretty sure that it would be a priority for me to become as fluent in the language as I can, out of a respect for the people that I'm going to be interacting with. It would be kind of rude to expect other people to translate for you, all the time. I mean, you got to figure out some kind of way to integrate yourself, especially if you're going to make it your aim to become a part of that particular culture or that particular society, But that I'm just generally not I don't expect everybody to do everything for me too. So there's that. Wow, she cannot understand the culture as she does not speak the language. Right. Facts. Yeah. Translation, I'm lazy and I'm hiding out here, so it doesn't matter as long as my fake haram bitch sex deviant husband can do all the work for me. Ooh. I'm starring that one. That one's getting saved. Hi, Fairy. How are you, love? Check it out, y'all. My sister from another mister decided to hang out with us tonight. What's up, girl? What's up with you? Miss your face, by the way. Love you, Heather. I'd love to know her correct weight so we could know her BMR. Right. Well, I mean, based on a lot of the BMR that we've been calculating for her is based off of, the last weights that she's been showing us, even though we know they may not be 100% accurate, just kind of rolling with what we got. She'll never genuinely show us a true weight, though.
I might learn Arabic. I'm learning slowly with him, but I might take a course in the future. I don't know. I'm focusing on other things right now. Know why oppositional defiant disorder? I don't know. I mean, are you a psychiatrist? I don't know. Are you suggesting that that's what I have? I've been to many psychiatrists and they've never mentioned that. So
I love that. I've been to many psychiatrists. Having one or two meetings with a psychiatrist or a therapist does not automatically guarantee you a diagnosis of anything. It takes multiple sessions for them to get a true baseline evaluation of someone set up. So her saying, well, nobody's ever diagnosed me with it before. Could that simply be because you never went enough? One visit every time your audience was on your ass, it does not mental health treatment make. I mean, it's just like, come on now. Come on. I don't understand how she can feel so comfortable with not knowing the bare minimum of the language to get directions or order her own food. That's true. Another thing that's to take into consideration, and I'm not wishing nothing on the dude, okay? Okay. Let's say by some freak occurrence that Sala goes in for his surgery that she don't want to talk to us about. And he has a freak response to his anesthesia and he keels over stone cold dead on that table. What is she going to do? She going to be stuck. Because what is she supposed to do then? Right. At the bare minimum. At the bare minimum. Where is the bathroom? Basic conversation level interaction. You've got to have some method by which to maneuver yourself within a group. It's like, come on now. What the hell? Oh, look, Tangled. Hi. Good to see you, sweetheart. And Pigs, my little ride or die. How you doing, girl? I had to fill out pages and pages of questionnaires before even seeing the psychiatrist, and then it took a few sessions before I even got Lexapro. Right. You are not going to meet anybody who is worth their salt that is just going to see you one time and then say, okay, well, here's some drugs, have at it. That's part of the reason why whenever Pete's had been given a prescription and he stopped taking them, is why she started taking his meds, because she wouldn't have to go through the process, Let's see. I've been to a couple psychiatrists. I don't have ODD. Doctors tell her to come back to be tested for ODD. Foodie. No. Yeah, see, that's exactly, there you go. When that Beezer sent her money to take BBG to the vet, not when she was putting her down, but a year before when she said she was with Nader, she said it was because of her ODD. Really? Interesting. There you go. She'll eat him like pets do when the owner passes. Ooh, can't. Hey, I done said this before now. We know if any two people in this great wide world would ever be inclined to turn to cannibalism, it would be her and the human shih tzu that we was just talking about a minute ago, Then we'll be the only two. I'm a retired therapist, and to pull back the layers and receive a proper diagnosis should take several sessions. I agree. Let us keep going.
Thanks. If you end up too ill or bedbound and become unable, these are like the dumbest questions I've ever read in my life. I know why I'm annoyed is because I know where this comes from, because reaction channels will sit there on panels for 2 hours talking about contriving these stupid theories. If you end up too ill or bedbound and become unable to make YouTube videos, what's your backup plan to make enough money to continue living how you are without issue? Listen, if I become bedbound, which won't happen because I literally just did a video of walking, but
ma'am. All these videos of walking is the reason why that you are currently bedbound. Are you seriously going to try to use that as a flex?
Okay. If I become bedbound for some reason, then YouTube would be the easiest form of making money, would it not?
Right. That's exactly the point that I'm making. It did not age well at all. That's usually the way things go for her, Right. See, she's going to end up completely bedbound and on oxygen before long. The way things, yeah. How's that walking going for you? Jesus. Yeah. Hey, Life by Jen 2.0, man. Jesus age. And she actually gets to that point in here where she's like, that's not going to happen.
I mean, you just have to lay there. I'm sitting here. I can lay there and also talk to you guys and go live or whatever.
The epitome of laziness. So, of course, she's down for that. FYI, while I'm thinking about it, your niece is going into surgery shortly. Will you give her a kiss for me, okay? And tell her I've got her on my mind. Let me know how she does, okay? So that I know whether or not I need to come over there or not. In my state, you see a counselor first multiple times, then they refer you to a psychologist. That's usually the way it goes. They're not going to dive headlong into trying to diagnose you with anything without actual documentation showing a pattern of symptoms and behaviors that would actually correlate with a diagnosis. Hi, how are you? And I can't, girl, you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce that because I don't want to murder that. I don't want to murder your name, darling. Okay, good. Right. Hey, I've been saying it. She's standing in line just waiting to pick it up. It's just a matter of time. I actually sincerely hope that in all sincerity that nobody does anything to help her. Why are you going to reward poor behavior? See, that's what I was thinking, Inferno. Polera. Thank you, Polera. But I did not. Yeah. See, no, I know, but I didn't want to put my foot in my mouth. I'd already done that one time this week. You know what I mean?
But I'm not the type of person who like sits here and thinking, what if? No, I live my life and don't worry about that.
See, that's the problem. Not everybody is sitting here weighing the hypotheticals or anything that we're freaking out about every little negative thing that could possibly happen. But those of us that are rational human beings out here, we're saying, okay, you know what? If I eat nothing but French fries 3 meals a week for an entire week or entire month or hell, 6 years, my cholesterol is going to be jacked up and I'm going to have heart disease. Okay. If I gain 100 pounds over the course of a year, all of my joints are going to hurt. I'm going to have trouble doing normal things without it causing me some kind of pain of discomfort. You know, So maybe I need to, have a couple more salads every week instead of going straight for the bread. It's not us going to this doomsday thing. It is using rational common sense. No, it's not just you. It's not just you, Kitty. I mean, fact is, she has gained weight. I mean, she was trying her damnedest to lose weight, and then she binge ate 820 calories a day over the course of every single day for the course of a week, and she threw on 13 pounds almost overnight. It's insane. Let's see. I was typing it as you said it. Hey, we're on a me and y'all, we are on a wavelength. Y'all, most of the time, y'all know what I'm thinking. Let's see. Becoming her before weight loss surgery was my biggest fear. I'm glad I did what I needed to do. She leaned into this and decided she's not worth changing. See, and that's the same thing. You actually missed it, Tangled. Somebody at the very beginning of the stream said, tell us how jealous you are to not be like Foodie and ALR. I said, yep, I'm so jealous that I did everything that I could humanly possible to make sure that I didn't end up anything like them. That's exactly how jealous I am. I think she is an unhealed tragic child healing. That is the foundation of healing. The eating would be step 2. Yeah, there's no question to me that she probably has some unresolved trauma, because that is actually 9 times out of 10 where, the foundation that addiction is built on, because you have unresolved things going on that you just can't seem to grapple with and to work your way through. And, it turns us into very damaged people, and we do whatever we can to kind of make the pain from those issues go away, even if for a little while. And as a part of, now I speak to it from the drug and alcohol side, and I can't speak wholeheartedly to the food side, but addiction is addiction. A big part of going into recovery is you deal with all those inner demons and the skeletons in the closet and all of the things that have happened to you, and you process through them with the help of another person so that you can unpack them and pull them off of your back, And once you've done that, then you are less likely to deviate back into old behavior because you've mended that hurt. And as long as she continues on this path, she's not going to get there. Just remember, everyone, you aren't waking up tomorrow in Chantal and ALR's meat suit. Agreed. God is good, y'all, all the time.
There are about 7,500 Canadians living in Kuwait. Why have you not reached out and made friends with any of them? I don't really care what culture you're from, to make friends with. If anything, I'd probably rather make friends with, locals.
And just contradicted herself over the course of a single sentence. It doesn't matter what your culture is, but I'd rather make friends with locals. You know it, girl. You know it. I completely disagree. I think Chantal is lazy and entitled. No trauma, just lazy and greedy from the get-go. She's eaten herself into addiction, but it's not from any childhood trauma, in my opinion. Now, I do think, I could see your point there, Grebo, but I do think there is some stuff that she has touched upon that she said, there are things that I've gone through that maybe I'll tell y'all about, and she has never talked about them. So, we do know that she has an abandonment problem between her father not being there, her father jumping ship, before she was born, and then her mom kind of dumping her off with her grandmother. So, there is, at the bare minimum, you're looking at like a neglectful sort of childhood. She didn't have the parental influence that she needed to make a solid developmental start. That's why I say that. Let's see. I haven't looked into ALR enough to make an accurate assessment. Well, both of ALR's parents were addicts, and she actually ended up in foster care kind of at an early age. So that's pretty much the high points. And she claims childhood SA too on top of it. She's an idiot. I've been throwing caution to the wind without health insurance for a few years, but something hit me a couple months ago and told me to get it because something was coming. It came. Wow. Yep. Her mom dumped her on her head, unfortunately. Welcome to the childhood as Gen X. We'd all be traumatized technically, according to Chantal's definition. Agreed. Well, and I think it's pretty safe to say, Grebo, and I think you can confirm, and I'm pretty sure that Hannibal could probably agree with me on this. And actually, Kitty probably could too, because I know out of those few that listed, as Gen X kids, I mean, if you'll think about it, we really weren't taught emotional maturity. I mean, we were kind of like rub some dirt on it and keep on going. I mean, we were taught to be seen and not heard, and we were to stay the fuck out of the way as much as humanly possible until we were told otherwise. So, I mean, if you'll think about it, I mean, we're not the healthiest people in relation to our mental and emotional health, but we've kind of learned to deal with it and to function with it that way, as crazy as that might sound. Right. We wholeheartedly raised ourselves. Let's see. In my opinion, Chantal is a narcissistic sociopath who was never properly socialized in order to attempt some sort of healthier behavior. The wiring was fucked up from the jump. That's a girl. I can't fault you that evaluation. That's pretty spot on. Okay, here's a LOL for you. I was at a Tim Hortons recently and I heard someone I didn't engage with them say, rule number 1, Chantal lies. I was not expecting that. I was too shocked to talk. You need to, next time if you happen to hear that again, you need to look around and find out who that is so you can be like, hey girl, hey. Right. She absolutely doesn't have anything in common with the women there, and she never will, simply because, we know that she hates women. She views all women as competition, whether they're married, whether they're old, whether they're another species. She considers them competition. I would claim trauma for being a shit person, but I chose to be better than making excuses for the way I was raised. Agreed. It is all about what you do with it. And that is most of the issue, is the fact that she's like, you know what? Oh, girl. I love the username. And I'm going to tell you, I started to say something about it, but I was like, nah. The other day, after I had my little pep talk with y'all while I was in my feelings, I did 2 things. Well, hi, come here. Or don't. You so stubborn. I love you, but you stubborn. Pat was in that live talking about, I done made potato wedges and hamburgers. Come get you some. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I DoorDashed me some Five Guys and I had me some French fry therapy because it had been more than a month since I had French fries. And I was like, okay, I could use some French fry therapy. So late in the afternoon, had me half of a burger, had me some French fry therapy. And then about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, I had me a big old bowl of Cheerios and I watched Beavis and Butthead. That was me decompressing. And it's just like, okay, all right, I feel better. Yep, don't speak until you're spoken to. I had a military family background to add to that. Took a lot of learning as an adult. Man, I can't even imagine. I had friends in high school who had a step-parent that used to make them sleep in the greenhouse and drink out of dog bowl. She had no idea what mistreatment really is. Holy crap. Oh, thank you, Cat Shark. I absolutely am. Jinxie Bear, Pig says hi. He's over here laid out like a throw rug. I was kicked out the first time at 10. Found out when pregnant my father wasn't my father. He was my rapist. Got married at 16 to an abusive adult. She doesn't know trauma, and I function unlike her. It goes back to that whole thing about it's all about what you choose to do about it. So that's part of it. I mean, you chose to push through, overcome, and to mend those wounds, you know. And her, she kind of latches onto them. They're an excuse. What I know, those who scream loudest about their trauma tend to be exaggerating the most. Chen's a selfish, entitled jerk who was never told no. She was allowed to walk all over her family. She's actually confirmed that, you know. Yeah, man, I don't do carb like that all the time, but you know, it was just like, you know what, I'm having a shit day and I'm just in a functified mood. I'm fixing to just let my inner fat kid have a field day. And you know, I'll be fine after that. They absolutely do. I cooked homemade French fries yesterday. I cut a potato, drizzled of olive oil, and bake them in the oven. I like to put them in the air fryer. I feel very grateful for the family that I've had, especially when I hear about others' upbringings. It makes me feel guilty for complaining about the things that I grew up with. It was heaven in comparison. Everybody has their trials, though. You know what I mean? Oh, I would never raise my voice at my dad, but it's not out of fear. It's a respect thing. Well, I mean, let's be real too, Heather. I mean, real talk. Both of us, we both know if with dad, your dad, my dad, either one, we would have been flat out. We would have had our ass busted if we'd done all that. So, all right, let's keep going, y'all.
I just don't really have time to focus on making new friendships. Making new friendships with people is draining and it takes a lot of energy, and I need to focus all that on bettering myself right now.
Ma'am, number one, you would have to actually leave the house to meet people. Okay. Secondarily, excuse you, how is it draining when you don't ever leave the house? You don't, ma'am, you don't do nothing all day. You want to talk about it being draining trying to meet new people and establish bonds with people? Try working a full-time fucking job, going to school, having actual real life responsibilities, and then trying to meet new people and make friends and actually develop real bonds with new people. That shit is freaking exhausting. Oh, they have been for a while. Girl.
Have you or do you consider your life out of control when it comes to your ability to control your eating and control your health? Well, yeah.
The first and only time out of this entire stream that we're doing here where she will actually be honest.
I thought that was pretty obvious. If so, have you considered inpatient or an outpatient program? Yes, and I've been to both.
No.
Sorry. I've tried to get into an inpatient program in Ottawa, and they
tried, which means she made one office visit and then she never went back. That is not trying, honey.
They have very limited beds. And the outpatient program pretty much did nothing for me. They put me on Vyvanse. Would you take?
Well, Vyvanse was supposed to actually suppress your appetite enough that you didn't feel the need to binge. And what did you do? You rebuked it in the name of Jesus.
Take on the challenge of giving up rice for veggies for one entire week. Yeah, I would for sure.
I love that she said that. Yeah, I would for sure. And then,
yeah, no problem. I love veggies. I do. Just because I'm not able to always control my binge eating doesn't mean that I don't like vegetables. I do love vegetables. So yeah, I would definitely try that sometime.
There's the key words and all that. Sometime. Which means it's never going to happen.
I have spent a lot of energy in my life. I am old in the pursuit of men. Don't all women want a partner, or most of them?
I love that is her response to an observation. Don't all women want a partner? No, not all women want a partner. Not all men want a partner. Some people have had plenty enough of them in their life that once they get to a point that they are content and comfortable by themselves, some of them don't. Believe it or not, it is actually easier at times to be by yourself than to have a warm body there.
Watching my weight, it's changing my personality and fussing over them. And you know what I have realized? Men don't like women at all. It takes age and life experiences before they even really care about other people. Even their woman. I think you're talking about personal experience.
No shit.
If you never had to pursue a man, what would you do with your life? What are your interests? I don't think that my life has anything to do with pursuit of man.
I'm pretty sure this guy will tell you otherwise. I present Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, come on. Who is she? Who does she think she's fooling?
You uprooted what life and family connections you had for Kuwait and everything you thought it was going to be. If you're referring to the event that happened with my husband and I as it completely ruining everything we had built, that's where the reason I'm here. It's because it didn't.
What exactly did she build with him? I'm asking those of y'all that are watching right now. What exactly did she build with this gentleman? You know, because I really don't see anything that looks like a what hell, Lord, I lost the word. I don't see a well-established foundation for anything. Other than a fart box that consists of a small menagerie.
Because that's where I outweighed everything we had with what we talked about in private and new promises we made to each other. We are starting again anew. People see me as like weak and pathetic for running back here. Again, you don't fully know our relationship, everything we built other than this one slip up with the text messages. It wasn't in real life.
Other than you don't know anything about our relationships other than this slip up. Ma'am, I would consider a slip up something as simple as forgetting your birthday or, not opening the car door for you or throwing away something that you really wanted to hold on to, something along those lines. Having a shit-eating grin on their face, dropping you off at the airport, and texting another bitch within the first 24 hours of you being gone is not a slip-up, my dude. That was intentional. That took concerted effort. And it speaks a lot to the dynamics of your relationship that you claim that we don't know anything about, ma'am. Let's be realistic here. And you can make the claim it was only in text messages. It wasn't in real life, ma'am. As somebody who has such an aversion to cheaters, you would think that you would understand that emotional infidelity is even worse than physical infidelity. Sex is sex. It's physical. It's using somebody's body, but connecting with somebody mentally and emotionally, spiritually, that's an investment on that person's part. You know what I mean? That is a lot more serious and always will be. Let's also point out once again that this slip up that you're talking about, your husband told another woman and even told you that he loved her. And it's documented for the entirety of the internet to see. But, you can continue to holler at the top of your lungs that we don't know nothing about the dynamics of your relationship when you have shared it all with us.
People think that I'm like weak or something.
You are.
For running back here and trying to make my marriage work over that mishap. What happens if Salah
You know why people say that? And I think it's pretty safe to say that we could just sum it up this way. There are grown women who have been with their husbands, okay, for years, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, have kids together, have mortgages, have grandkids. And do you know what? Most of them women will tell a motherfucker to take off because they're not dealing with that shit. And what happens? You are at the very beginning. At the very beginning. And you pass it off as, oh, it's okay. It's a mishap. We're going to start over. All you have done in all this by normalizing it, number one, and allowing no consequences, is you have simply taught him exactly how much you are willing to take. That's all. And what you're willing to tolerate. Hi, Abby. So, don't be shocked when it happens again. And the statistics show that people who cheat are three times more likely to do it again.
Up and leaves you because it isn't what he wanted after all. Okay, then that happens, and I'll deal with it. Like I said.
Yeah, we know how you'll deal with it. Same way you dealt with the last one. You'll be turning old boy over to the Kuwaiti authorities.
You don't know the language. You don't know customs or laws. A lot of people who travel don't really know all that. And I do know the customs and laws a lot now. And I have my husband here as a translator.
That's the problem. Number one, most people who travel make an effort to learn the customs and laws of the countries that they're traveling to. Number two, you're relying on a man who's got 2 brain cells fighting for third place to act as your translator. I can guarantee you he's probably not even translating 20% of what you're asking him to translate. But, you trust that if you want to.
What if you have a near-death experience? These are all really what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if that? Thinking of all of the worst case scenarios, I don't do that. I try to develop my character to be able to deal with problems as they come up because they can happen, but I don't anticipate them and give myself more anxiety.
Okay. First off, nobody out here is, unless you're a doomsdayer, I don't know too many people out here that are intentionally setting themselves off into a tailspin with the absolute worst case scenario. But there is such a thing as hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. The fact is, a little bit of preemptive behavior saves you a lot of grief in the long run. That's the point that question is making. Are you even considering the litany of potential outcomes that you abusing your body is doing? Are you even considering it? And basically, she's like, no, I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it, you guys. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Questions, not just the show the questions you approve of. But why would I show hateful comments I don't want to answer?
Now we went through all the questions and comments that was left for her the other night when Hannibal was on stream with us. Now, for those of y'all that were in the chat, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really recall anybody being out and out hateful. They were just answering questions. They were asking questions she simply didn't want to answer.
Did you ever consider your YouTube career could be hindering your weight loss motivation? No, I don't think so. It's to say hi.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't, because then you would have to acknowledge the fact that the money coming in from your YouTube career is actually reinforcing all of your negative behavior. I don't want to do that, do we? Don't want to do that.
You guys, I got to tell you what happened, okay? So shortly after I went for that 3K walk, I felt fine the next day. And then
I don't believe that.
The day after, I don't know what happened. I had a flare up, really bad. So I did talk to a doctor about it. I did see a doctor. because, well, that's kind of why I've been missing. Just like
Exactly,
I've been busy,
Fed.
but also like health problems with it. This stupid thing. So I'm like, I can't ignore it anymore. I have to get like, So basically, I'm on bed. Like I can't irritate it because apparently for sciatica, people are like stretch, stretch, stretch.
Exactly.
Apparently, stretching.
Hi, Lindsay.
Oh, Jenny. Hi. Sorry. I'm not trying to miss anybody. I just want to get this out and then I'll say hi to you guys. So it feels like someone shot me in the butt cheek, and it's like, you ever have like a really bad Charlie horse? And the pain is so bad, you're just like writhing in pain like a baby. It doesn't go away. It's just like constant. And now it's bad to the point where it's throbbing, and my whole leg is almost numb down to my feet.
See, okay. So now I'm not saying that with sciatica, and I say this because I have a running diagnosis of sciatica that comes and goes and has been for about the last 10 years or so. Now, I'm not saying that the potential for having numbness down the leg is not there, but the fact that stretching or her moving doesn't relieve it calls into question whether or not it's sciatica or not. Okay. If anything, my presumptive diagnosis, this is entirely speculation, allegedly conspiracy, whatever, y'all. I would almost guarantee, based on what she's described and what does and doesn't work and how it's still a problem, I would honestly say that I think it's probably more likely that she has a herniated disc. And what you are looking at, the symptoms that she's seeing, is called nerve impingement. That herniated disc is pressing on that nerve, and it is actually causing all of the downstream symptomology that she's seeing. Okay. And with the way we've seen her, that's mine. No, sir. We're not doing this. Come here. Get over here. You leave my drink alone. Thank you. I love you, but you need to quit messing with my drink, okay? No. I know. You're a good boy. Pig says you can have whatever you want. I don't want him playing with my straw. That's what the problem is. I say herniated disc with like nerve impingement because of what she's describing and the fact that stretching doesn't help, movement doesn't help, all of that stuff. So, right. I mean, I've pointed that out to you guys before. If we took a picture of her sideways and we drew a line at every point in her back, in her spine where she has an odd curvature, her lower back is very lordotic. That's why her belly pooches out the way that it does, and it has for ages now. And then at her shoulders, her head's kind of hunched forward. If you turn her sideways and you look at her like this, her back actually makes like an S. Her spine is kind of curved into an S between her head being leaned forward and her lower back being jutted backward because of trying to balance the counterweight on the front of her. Of the potential for her ending up with a bulged disc is pretty good, I'd say, Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me seeing it. Okay. I'm glad it makes sense to you guys, Well, I mean, realistically, the symptoms that she's described to them would actually fall under the description of what sciatica presents as. Problem is that there's no way for them to know until they actually do genuine imaging on her, X-ray, CT, MRI, something along those lines. And we know old girl ain't never in a hurry to do nothing that costs something. Hi, I love you too. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Do you think we could pick a spot and settle? Hi, Kalari. It's okay, honey. You can always catch up on it later. I would rather you be rested so you can be a fully functioning adult tomorrow.
I do. Oh, but see, like Tracy, the stretching makes it worse. I tried stretches before I saw a doctor. They're like, no, they put me. I'm on Celebrex twice a day. That's what I'm hoping. So they want me to try gabapentin. Yeah, I know. And Lyrica, I looked that up too.
Two of the last damn drugs that she should be messing with because of her addiction issues. And I say this, I've never taken gabapentin. But I have heard a lot of people say that it'll make you feel good. And we know how she is. If something makes her feel good, she's like, well, if one makes me feel good, maybe three will make me feel even better. They don't need to be giving her gabapentin. And they don't need to be giving her Lyrica either. Well, they did initially put her on Celebrex for this. That part she confirmed. But apparently there was discussion about gabapentin and Lyrica. But they don't need to be, first off, she don't even really need to be on the Celebrex because with her having diabetes and her being on Genumet, it can present with the same possible outcome that her taking NSAIDs would. It puts her at risk of developing like lactic acidosis, and it's not good, make you sick. And but obviously in my mind, she's not giving them a full scope of her range of issues. We know that Foodie's a poor historian. She is very selective in what she does and doesn't tell people, and that, contributes to the problem. If, in all sincerity, if they wanted to put her on something that could possibly help with the nerve pain from this issue that she could not get addicted to, they could put her on Elavil or amitriptyline. Well, Elavil is the brand name. It would be amitriptyline as the generic. It is a mental health medication, but it does have positive results on neuropathy and neuropathic pain in the prison systems and in the state correctional system. They do not utilize gabapentin at all because of the feel good part of it. We would have every inmate on the compound talking about my legs hurt, my hands hurt, my elbow hurts. And instead they utilize the amitriptyline, and the amitriptyline has the same sort of effect as the Neurontin without the feel good. So, well, there you go. See, you're familiar with it. Amitriptyline is actually a really good drug. So right off the bat, it would probably be better to deal with her psychotic, all over the place sort of stuff, So she would be getting like a 2-for-1 special: pain relief and keeping her from flying off the handle, dealing with her mental health problems. Right. Exactly. And she does not follow at all the instructions she's given. No, Miss Kathy, I know. And it is actually a really great medication for nerve pain. The problem is with somebody like Foodie is she would probably be popping them a little bit more frequently than she should because they'll make her feel good,
You were shot in the butt cheek? For real? Hi, Snowflake. Hi, Fernanda. Eating pad and stretching. But the stretching seems to make it worse. Now that you're don't stay awake. I don't want to laugh, but that made me laugh. Hi, Lisa. What's a TENS? Pennington. Chiropractor?
Well, first off, I left that in there because of the conversation about the chiropractor. My having issues with sciatica is because I had a deviated spine from just general bad alignment. And a lot of times you can actually help reduce the frequency of symptoms if you have your spinal alignment corrected. For her, that's going to be almost impossible because as soon as she gets back up off the table again and she's back to leaning like this with her head cranked forward, she's going to throw everything right back out of place again.
Listen to the doctor. He says usually sciatica, it could be a flare, but sometimes it goes away. So I'm going to try this for now. a few more days of just being bedbound and resting, because when I walk too much, hi Jackie.
That's another reason that I don't believe that she's got sciatica. The only time that I am ever actually in any sort of pain whenever I am dealing with a sciatic flare-up is when I'm laying down or when I have sat down for too long. I have actually gone to work with my sciatica whipping my tail, being uncomfortable all the way to work. But once I get out of the truck and I get moving, I'm fine again. I have literally worked entire shifts with sciatica and basically pretty much standing up the entire night simply because I didn't want to sit down, because going from sitting to standing is uncomfortable. Sitting down for long periods is uncomfortable, and I dare not subject myself to that, so that's why what she's saying to me is it's not giving sciatica.
Oh yeah, I've had massages every few hours. And now that massages hurt me, I don't want the massage anymore. We have a massage gun too. That hurts even worse. Massage by hand was helping more, but the stretches I tried made it worse. It made it flare up even worse. It's so bad. My worry is that it's due to like I'll have to go back to the doctor if it doesn't clear up, because it could be like something like a bulge, like a back problem.
Right. She started to say it, a bulge or a back problem. That's what I'm talking about. A herniated disc would be a bulging disc, which is applying pressure to the nerve, and thus all the symptoms we're having. And it would explain a lot of what she's reporting.
Like pinching the nerve, and then what if I need microsurgery and all this other BS, much of an appetite. I always used to hear my grandmother, my sciatica, she was on Lyrica, and I just thought.
And that's why she's looking into Lyrica, because it was something that her grandmother used. It is not for everybody. That goes back to her having an issue with her giving a full medical history and actually relaying everything in her past to her MDs so that they can take into consideration what she should and should not be using. She should not be on the Celebrex. She should have never had the Celebrex. You know what I'm saying? They should have utilized something else. Let's see. Salty, I still need to comment on your OLive, but I love you to do a dive into OA and help us understand the program. You could add so much to your community if you become our OA expert. Well, okay, I don't mind doing that. Because I do believe that the OA program and the AA program are basically the same program. It's a 12-step program, and AA is kind of the gold standard for your 12 steps, because most 12-step programs like your NA, your OA, and stuff like that, they kind of take their 12 steps from AA and then they modify them to meet whatever the particular addictive property is. So, I mean, I suppose I could. And I'll look into it and I'll see what I can work out. Sound good? And we can have us a whole talk on it. Let's see. Let's see. Well, that too. I mean, realistically. Did we forget she said she went to the doctor the day before and she was on Celebrex already, or am I dreaming? No, she did say that. But I mean, with her combination of kidney issues, liver issues, heart issues, and diabetes, I'm pretty sure she didn't relay all of that information to the provider that she saw, because I can guarantee you she didn't see the endocrinologist for this issue. If she had told them even half of that, they probably wouldn't have put her on the Celebrex, Tis true. Well, I mean, she does actually have some real problems going on, but that too. Hi, Des. I had her exact same symptoms. Got an X-ray, was a pinched nerve, aka radiculopathy. You're 100% correct. I'm on gabapentin too. It's so nice to know that I got. See, it's so nice to know that I'm talking sense. Some of the time, I'm going to tell y'all. Some of the time, I'm sitting here talking, and I'm on that train of thought in my head. And every so often I feel like I kind of hit like a bump in the track or something. And I'm like, oh my God, Did what I say just made sense? You know, yeah, her endocrinologist. I hate it when she does that crap. Well, that too, and that's another problem because old Solomon ain't gonna be telling nobody none of that either. Okay, let's keep going.
Can't be that bad, you know. I was told that the walking probably aggravated it.
X to my fund out.
That's already look really.
All right, so y'all, we're not doing this entire deal. You know what I'm saying? I cut just a couple sections out, and I will probably still jump through them too because there's a couple of buttworm. I'm still waiting on Hannibal to make a buttworm shirt. I ain't seen it yet.
3-7. I'm not gonna pick on T and Sass because I see that she's not doing well, and she has a cute cat now, so I'm gonna be nice.
I'd like to know where that came from. She's been going after T and Sass wide open for about a year now. And now all of a sudden she's going to go easy on her and she's going to be nice. I would love to know where that come from because that right there, that is not the Chantal we're accustomed to seeing.
Hi, Vamp Diva, what's happening? What is health updates? So, a regular schedule. Yeah, that's true. So a podcast will have a regular schedule at all. My pain is increasing, and now I have numbness all down my leg. Like I can't feel a lot of my whole leg.
Facts.
It's like really, it's numb. Okay. So I somehow, in the most excruciating pain. Hey, Jessica. Hi. Here's Chantal. Don't assume it's sciatica only. Well, no, I'm gonna have to have like other tests done. But for now, what we're trying is I somehow got my butt to the clinic. I was like, Bismillah, Bismillah, you know, the whole way, like, just please God help me. I was in so much pain. I had to get dressed in stages. I had to like first roll off the bed. That was painful. Go to the washroom, which is torture. Then I had to put my pants on, lay down, let the pain subside a bit, get up, and I hate this because, you know, I told Salah, I'm like, there is my hijab fell on the floor, and I
can agree with that.
I had to wait for him to come home and get me. Get the hijab off the floor.
Ma'am, that prompts me to ask the question. If you are having, if you are in pain or distress, why was your husband not home with you to ensure that you were going to be okay? I thought you said at one point in this stream, ma'am, that the whole point of being married is taking care of each other. Why wasn't your husband home taking care of you? Right. You get a butt worm and you get a butt worm and you get a butt worm. Butt worms for everybody. So there you go. She absolutely channeled her inner Oprah. Oh, you said it, Val. All right, let's just continue. But I had to point that out about her husband not being home. Where's your husband?
And, you know, it's not fun. Okay, so happened was I went to the clinic, and I was in tears. Like I couldn't hold it in. This pain brings me to tears like a baby. Okay, so this looks ridiculous. Well, would you expect my so he just looked at me and like, you know, I must have looked pitiful, and he wrote a prescription like right away. So basically everything is done.
Red flag.
In that same area. It's like a clinic hospital kind of thing. And I had to go to the treatment station, and, you know, a bunch of nurses. I was so almost delirious in pain. I didn't even really know what they were talking about. And I just like, I couldn't even sit. It's more comfortable to stand, and it's extremely painful to stand, but I cannot sit. So I stood up and kind of leaned against the gurney, and they injected me with a needle as long as the sheet jabber bridge, or as long as the wall of China. Hi, creepy, into my right and into my left upper buttock like area.
So for those of y'all that don't know, what she is describing is actually a normal place for intramuscular injection. Okay. Her talking about the length of the needle. Okay. All right. Given the fact that old girl has got a massive massive amount of padding on her ass, they probably had to make an adjustment to the length of the needle to ensure that they were actually entering the muscle. Whereas most average sized human beings that I've had to give IMs to, I can get away with 1 inch or 1.5 inch long needle. You know, so her acting surprised that they're using this long needle on her should not be surprising to her. Hi, Fun. How are you, honey? Good to see you. So there's that. Secondarily, ma'am, how are you going to let somebody just stab you in the ass with something that you don't know what it is? Okay. What you mean, what'd you miss? Yes, we done talked about all kind of crazy stuff. How you doing, by the way? Because I'm going to say, I asked that question because even in the times where I have been in pain, I want to know what it is that they're giving me. I can agree with you on that, Daz. It was. I'm sure there was probably some Toradol involved. The other thing too. Sorry, Heather. But it calls into question between the fact that these nurses not actually telling her and the fact that this doctor just started pulling out a script right away, it calls into question for me the level of the actual, you know, the legitimacy of this clinic that she went to. I mean, we've talked about this before, y'all. I mean, just saying. You'll be fine. You not getting stuck with it. You calm your tits, ma'am. Not like she can turn around to check. No, I know, but you know what I'm saying, girl. And I'll throw this out there too. If you got nurses that are poking you in the behind that have done it enough, you really shouldn't feel it. Because, you know, you get kind of a smooth application done there, and usually 9 times out of 10, you won't feel it. I've done it to people plenty of times, and they're like, wow, I didn't even feel that. And I tell them all the time, like, I didn't want you to feel it. You know, of course you didn't feel it. I didn't mean for you to, you know. I would say probably not. I get what you're saying, but do you think there was a language barrier and Sala didn't explain it to her correctly? I'll be honest with you, I don't think Sala really explained anything. Facts. I try, you know, well, I make the joke, you know, whenever people say, oh, I didn't even feel it. I said, well, good. I didn't mean for you to feel it. The only people I want to feel it are people who make me mad, even the ones that do, you know, but I say that as a joke. There's only one person I've ever let pull it. Yes, I know. And I'm sure, hey, and I'm sure mom had a field day with it.
And whatever it was, I don't know. It instantly made my head light and my heart raced so bad I thought I was going to throw up. So,
okay.
Maybe some kind of like steroid injection is what I'm guessing.
Okay, so I'll say this. Of these 2 injections that she got, I do believe that one of them could potentially have been prednisone, simply because of the secondary side effects that she had after it was administered. Racing heart, lightheadedness isn't uncommon with prednisone. The problem is that, again, I don't think that she effectively communicated the fact that she has diabetes, that she has all these other comorbidities, because if she had, they probably would have been less likely to give her prednisone, because if she had told them she was diabetic, they would have been checking her. They would have checked her blood sugar as a part of her intake assessment. They would have found that her blood sugar was 180 or higher, and they would have known that prednisone actually jacks up your blood sugar. So if they had have given her the prednisone knowing that, then they probably would have given her something else to ensure that her blood sugar doesn't creep up. So just a thought. But, again, we are talking about Foodie. Foodie don't know nothing about nothing. We're just kind of speaking on what we're seeing and what we're hearing.
I like amputation. I don't know. So this is the pain meds they're giving me is this injection. So I have to go every day for now for the next few days to get this injection. And also I have to take this cocktail of vitamins. And I think it's like B12 and something else. So part of the treatment is vitamins. So yeah, I haven't been like officially diagnosed. I told the doctor my symptoms. I said I talked to another doctor. They suggested Celebrex, but I'm probably going to have to get imaging done. They're going to try this for now. Like right now, the pain management, I really can only go to the clinic and lay down. I don't even know if I could get an x-ray right now. I can't, like I had to be wheelchaired back to the car. I thought I was going to pass out. It was so bad. It was so.
Hang on. I saw something pop up here. Hi, Kalari. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. It's so sweet of you. I'm thinking she took imaginozone. The dose doesn't matter since most of this is in Chantal's mind. I'm sorry, but not buying this BS. Well, I mean, I understand. Okay, there was a lot of conversation over that last stream that we just got through looking at the fact that she had a smile on her face and that she was kind of chuckling and stuff like that. There was a lot of call into question whether or not she was actually in pain or not. The problem with that is I say this, you civilians who don't work in this field, you can absolutely all day long say, there is no way that heifer is in pain if she's laughing. Okay. That's entirely your prerogative. But as somebody who actually works in this field, who works with people all day long, you see a lot of odd reactions to people when they're in pain. And pain is entirely subjective. If she's telling you that the pain is a 10 out of 10, but she's still grinning and stuff like that, then it is entirely possible, that her doing the laughing and the giggling and the chuckling and stuff on stream, that is obviously with whatever pain medication they gave her on board. So you got to keep that in mind. I have seen people completely flat affected, showing no emotion whatsoever, with serious wounds, with serious illnesses, and they're still telling you that their pain is a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but they're not physically showing it. Pain is entirely subjective, and there is really no way to gauge whether or not someone is truly in pain or not. So I leave that to people, to the medical civilians out there. Y'all, if y'all want to get her. See, take a look at her. This one right here, I've known her my whole damn life. Very rarely have I ever seen her in tears or weepy because of pain. I have actually seen her laugh when she's hurt herself. So, the body and people's response to things is very strange. It makes us really fascinating, Exactly. And actually her body overall has been screaming at her for a while to take things seriously. And unfortunately, they are speaking two different languages because she ain't hearing none of it. Are we supposed to have her video? We only have sound for a while. Well, no, Des, what this was, she apparently did not want to make the effort of putting on an abaya, and she's in the bed. So she didn't want people to see her without her abaya or to see her bedroom. So she basically just audio recorded. What you're seeing on the screen, all of this is it. This is the lobby from The Shining and her little wax figure avatar knockoff deal.
I don't wish this pain on anyone, not even the people whose guts I hate on this platform. I'm just kidding.
You notice she said, this pain is awful. I wouldn't wish it on anybody that I hate on this platform. And then she started laughing and said, I'm just kidding. Those of y'all out here, y'all reaction channels, y'all dedicated reaction channels, old girl is wishing that this stuff jumps off on y'all. Hope y'all ready.
Type of wheelchair, Applebee's. Yeah, honestly, like, I just want something for the pain, just something for the pain. But the injection, actually, like, I felt the pain melting away. But
see, that to me is a concerning statement. I just want something for the pain. I just want something for the pain. Now, okay, I'm not trying to say that she should be miserable, that she should be laying there in horrible pain. She is absolutely a horrible person, but I do not believe that anybody should lay there hurting. You know what I mean? And to me, though, the problem with that statement is she just wants the pain to stop. We're not overly concerned about figuring out exactly what's wrong, and we're not overly concerned with fixing the problem. You know, we're just worried about there not being any pain involved. As much as I hate to tell her this, pain is your body telling you that there's an issue that needs to be taken care of. And even though, yes, pain management is obviously going to be important, getting down to the issue at hand and actually resolving it is going to be the top priority, even above the pain management, dude. You know, pain is a part of the human condition. Everybody walks around with something hurting at some point in their day at varying levels, you know. So, but that whole statement is just a little concerning for me.
I can still feel like a little twinge of pain if I move a certain way. So I don't, I'm definitely gonna just not look forward to the pain coming.
Tis true.
But so yeah. So for sure, my favorite position is just laying in bed, and that's what I'm doing. That's why this kind of content is ideal for me right now. Turkish coffee, what is this? It's my bedbound series. I was watching the Gaining Ground live stream because he's actually naturally funny and he's not a jerk. Talking about
all right, jump.
If you're still freaking out on Twitter, like, I just picture him punching the air in the middle of nowhere. No one's listening to you.
She is talking about Michael B. Petty, and here we are. Michael B. Petty hasn't made a video on her in quite a long time, and she is still uber salty with Michael B. Petty. Ma'am, why are you concerned about what somebody's saying about you on Twitter? Number one. But number two, let's get into the fact that if you had even half a clue of the shit that's said about you on Twitter, whoo, girl, you'd walk around butthurt all day long. Ma'am. The sun does not rise and set on your painful ass. Thank you very much. Would you calm your tits, please?
Michael B. Smelly, no one's listening to you. Does tempt me to make a Twitter just to report all of the crappy hate Twitter channels out there that contribute nothing but garbage. But I'm kind of lazy, so who knows?
Come on with it, girl. We ready for you. There's more of us than there is of you on Twitter, ma'am.
I saw him accusing me that on Gigi's live stream that I would ever insult Pete like that. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't insult Pete like that. Pete's not smelly. It was my other roommate that
X'd it out.
I had, and his name was actually James, believe it or not. It's mostly from his garlic bologna anyways. I feel bad for you actually at this point, Michael B. Smelly, dirty mean girl. Like, you're just so miserable with yourself. You just take it out on me all day. So I'm gonna pray for you. Okay, you need it. Thank you. So I wanted to clarify that. That's one thing I definitely wanted to clarify. Pete's hair was filthy. Well, sometimes greasy hair, yeah, whatever, But like, he didn't smell, not ever.
First off, I'm going to just say this. The woman, hi, thank you for the kissy. Can we pick a spot, please? Can we pick a spot and settle? I love you too. I love you too. So, I'm going to put it to you like this. The woman who thinks that showering involves just washing from the belly button up qualifies as washing Ma'am, you do not have any rationale in the slightest to try to argue that James don't smell bad, okay? James has already confirmed for the great wide world that you walk around smelling like blue cheese. So I think there's a pretty distinct possibility that you might be a little nose blind and that you probably would not be able to smell if he was funky or not over your own. And I think that's a pretty valid point if you'll think on it. I'll add too, and he can take it how he wants, and you can take it how you want. But if a dude is walking around with hair down past his shoulders, and he looks like he's got greasy hair all the time, then I can almost bank that he's spending about as much time in the shower as you are, and probably only washing his belly button too. So I'm just saying.
Shower. And he always had gross garlicky
Girl.
And they would just, yeah, they had to be there. So
you weren't around for this, Heather. You wasn't around for this, girl. At one point, she went to Cuba and she got intoxicated and fully admitted on live stream that, by the way, is in the archive of infamy for her, that her hoo-ha smells like ricotta cheese and fish, and ain't even hesitate when she said it. Actually said it more than once. Talking about everybody's cho-cha smells bad. I was like, ma'am, you need to speak for yourself.
Yeah, so I already touched on that, but like another thing I always hear people saying, like apparently Yaba and Scam are striking people, which a lot of people are.
I'm gonna jump past this. She goes in this whole deal about Yaba and Sam.
Who people think that I don't do anything. Oh, I do. The thing is YouTube does nothing. YouTube does nothing. So there's nothing, unless you want to help me out, like people who are suggesting this and message me or email me, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But YouTube has, when I reach out to YouTube directly, I reach out to my YouTube manager, who I keep ignoring because they're useless at this point. I don't care if
Facts, grab apples.
Like they reach out all the time. Can you set up a time to talk about how we can make your channel more successful? Well, I know people say, well, you don't do a reaction channel because you're not good at it. I know I can burn their asses on coal. I can do it just easy.
Well, why ain't you done it yet? If you think you can come out here and burn reaction channels on coals, why ain't you done it yet? Because your excuses, which we fixing to play, I'll break down the stupidity of them all in just a minute.
The problem is I feel like I'm lowering myself to that level and like I'm becoming an immoral, shitty person, or not a good Muslim when I'm talking about and gossiping about other people, So unless I can find a way to do it that's like humorous, the problem is these people all don't have senses of humor about themselves. They block, they cry. Go in FFG's chat. You say one thing sideways about her, she's blocking you and dissing you on Twitter for like 5 days. So they just make a ton of assumptions, and their audience takes it as gospel truth. I know. Like one of my questions in the Q&A had almost 700 likes, and I know where those likes are coming from.
Yep, she said that a little while ago. Okay, so this whole comment about I don't want to stoop to that level because it makes me feel like I would be a bad Muslim to call them out on their BS. Cool. You do know that there is a way to respond without actively attacking people's appearances, whether or not they're parents, what kind of housing they live in, what their accents sound like. Ma'am, you can respond to the points that they're making without being a shallow heifer that just attacks people. It is entirely possible. So, and it ain't even got to be funny. If you want to go through and you want to say, okay, here's the problem with this statement, but you better roll through with some accuracy. Because if you just say it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, like you did the last time you tried and failed to respond to FFG, then, it's gonna fall through again. Well, there's that. Quite true, Charlotte. I'll give that to you. Oh, girl, how many times we done said it? Got two brain cells fighting for third place up there. See, I do try to add some humor in it all, but for the most part, it's just throwing it out there. Some people will find it funny, some people won't. I'm just being who the good Lord made me to be, I guess.
Just have rose-colored glasses on. I mean, I know it's been years, and people just assume that, especially with me, they just think that people can never change. There's some things about me that haven't changed, but there's a lot that has.
I love that. There's some things about me that haven't changed, but there's a lot of things that have. Current place of residence, current household pets, and pecker in proximity are the only things about you that have changed, my dear. You are still the same unhappy person you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You're perpetually gaining weight. You're still lashing out at people over the most foolish of things. You can't control your eating habits. You blame everybody else for your problems. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
Well, specifically, a lot of my life circumstances, you know what I mean? I don't know why this woman is so obsessed with me. Like, honestly, every single time I go live, she's on my ass. Like, do you not have a life? Like, these people don't have a life. They just wait for me to go live. Like, I swear, you have to be nothing. Like, what are the odds that you have nothing going on in your life every time I go live? Like, what is it not middle of the day there right now? It's a Sunday. Do you not have a family day?
I'm glad you like it.
FFG too. She's another pathetic one who pretends to have.
She was talking about Breezy with that comment.
Have a life. I put a community post up. Me, impulsive. I take it down. 15 minutes later, not even an hour, and she's firing up a live stream about it. Like, who cares? You talk shit about me every day. I have a right to snap back once in a while. What do you expect? A warm hug? Like, obviously, I'm gonna give you crap, guys. Sometimes get a life. Don't just hit the space bar every 2 seconds, and they're not super petty or contrive things for drama or go real life. Is there any reactors you're okay with? I'm okay with reactors.
First off, ma'am, you can't say nothing about nobody going real life when you dog whistle your audience to do your dirty work for you. You even did it in this live stream where you asked your viewers to go report channels for you because you're too fucking lazy to do it. Just like you did when you kind of real slickly asked your audience to call Perfectly Imperfect's place of employment and to get her in trouble. Just like you slickly asked your audience to call the law on Nader because you didn't want to do it because you knew if you did, he would dump you on your head. So, how's about you quit throwing them rocks, girl, because you living in one of the biggest glass houses I've ever seen.
Who are not dog crap, like your mama says, like that don't just that don't just hit the space bar every 2 seconds and are not super petty or contrive things for drama or go real life. Like, what would you think? They don't have a way to make money otherwise. Well, I mean, how is that my problem? It is my problem now. It's not my fault you're not interesting enough. Views on your life. You're driving these back from Cornwall, stalking me to Montreal. That's rough, especially when you're used to getting 30, 40.
I'm going to say this because, like, we talked about this the other day. I know, because I pointed it out to y'all. I don't even get 10% of the views on the personal stuff that I put up versus what I get on these streams or on anything foodie or ALR related. It is what it is. But, whenever I do anything involving the girls, it's usually simply because I can come on here and talk to y'all. It gives me something to do for a little bit where we get to interact and laugh and cut up and have a good time. And that's basically it, because let's be realistic. I think we can all say that watching raw dogging these two without some sort of intermediary here, there is nothing fun about it at all.
you know? I've never seen so many obsessed with one person they don't even know. I know. I'm all set with reaction channels unless it's music. People are so mean and just plain rude. Yeah, really. Yes, your mom is more entertaining than personal attacks. Yeah, if I were to do reactions, it would be like this. You know, it would be like something, I would want it to be something like that. Something like organized, something like not just attacking one person with stupid insults about their body every time, about the same things, you know? Like, he has talking points and he makes valid arguments and he points out things. You know what I mean? Like, the Gore World community is extremely hypocritical, and I'm glad there's at least somebody. There's a few people that realize that, but everyone is too cowardly to call these people out. It's like, it's worse than high school. Like, it's literally, whenever you were in high school, do you guys remember these mean cliques of
Okay, now she's talking about, she's basically doing the same thing she's been doing, where she's comparing Girl World to Mean Girls.
And I actually feel bad for people who have to rely on that to make money. You know, you can't just be yourself. You have to be a mean, hateful parrot of everyone else to make a dime on here. And who knows when your day will come. Gore Breath is already demonetized. Maybe he'll get it back. Who knows? But it's like a matter of time for these channels. They keep becoming more and more hateful. They keep doing more and more real life crap. And something's going to give. I mean, if you think that karma doesn't apply to you, but only to me and everyone else, you're insane. And you have another thing coming, and it will be bad when it does, you know? Yeah, they're conspiracy theories. Okay, what's the worst one you've heard?
Well, I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, first off, the rest of it from there is just basically gibberish. Just her repeating the same old crap, okay? Facts. Foodie is probably one of the most seasoned mean girls in the whole shebang, okay? Exactly. She does exactly have the Regina Georgia mentality. It's not my fault that I'm popular and everybody's jealous, you guys. Okay, no, right. The girl, this is where that whole developmentally stunted thing comes into play. She has never mentally matured. That's just a fact. Okay, and in that respect, I do sort of feel sorry for her, because, you know, she would probably be a much happier, well-rounded human being if she had, or by some insane method of miracle that she would get some mental help, that maybe, just maybe, she would go and see a therapist and actually get some help for her issues. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she would be able to develop some level of maturity that she continues to claim unjustifiably that she has. So, okay, there is that. That's what I got. Do we want to talk? Right. My father, the inventor of toaster strudel, will not be happy to hear about this. Oh, she's well-rounded, all right. She's well-rounded, just not in the correct way, you know. But that's neither here nor there. 1/3 of Girl World is turning on itself. The rest is partially pro-Yo Mama channels that pop up between the fall and winter that carries on his lies, and channels that aren't selling us his shit. True enough. And, you know, that to me, when she makes the comment about Yo Mama being like, it needs to be like that, where he makes valid points and he's not talking about the same person. The only reason she feels that way is because he's talking about anybody other than her. I mean, she actually has been angry at him several times over because he's pointed out that FFG and Foodie act the same way. And she felt a kind of way about it. I mean, how are you actually going to be upset when you have been cheerleading this man and pushing everybody to his channel? So it's like, come on. Salty soccer is confusing. I got a yellow cart over. Lord have mercy. So well-rounded that she's bedbound. Exactly. Okay, so now this, we went from shush. I did not mean for that to do that. So quite a few of you guys were in the channel with us the other night when we talked about Pierre. Okay, so I wanted to do a little thing tonight called the Pierre positivity moment. Okay, there has been some stuff going on with Pierre that has not been like drama or anything, but, you know, just funny, and I thought it would make you guys laugh. So Pierre had it brought to his attention that somebody had been stealing images off of his page, off of his lives, and off of his videos, taking stills and putting them on WikiFeet. Now, I did not even know there was such a thing as WikiFeet. I actually had to go and look it up to verify it. And he actually did a video on it where he looked it up himself and was showing people what was on the WikiFeet. But apparently, it is a foot fetish site that collects images of online personalities and actors and singers and whatever. And somebody had put a whole collection of images of Pierre on WikiFeet, and which kind of, he was like, okay, I don't know how to feel about this. He said, but even more upsetting, he says, is the fact that you can rate these. He says, and I have only been given a 2.86. He was like, come on now, somebody as pretty as me should have a better looking rating than 2.86. So people, yes, I did, and it's such bullshit. So he said in the video related to the WikiFeet thing that he was like, do any of you guys want to help me with this? Because I don't know what to do about it. So he put up a live stream yesterday saying we have defeated WikiFeet. And here's what he had to say.
We went from a 2.84 out of 5 into a 5.38 out of 5. We broke WikiFeet, guys. Hey, look, leave it to Pierre XO to achieve the impossible, my friends. We have actually done literally the impossible. The scale goes to 5. Leave it up to the Imaginarians and the power of our dreams and pineal gland in order to do something beyond this reality. And beyond this reality means we have achieved a 5.38 out of 5. Isn't that crazy? In fact, we've done so well, my friends, that we actually broke WikiFeet. I got such a good rating because of the support of the fellow Imaginarians that the rating was so large that all of the images were taken down. We have overloaded the system with positivity and love, my friends. And now I am forever gone off of WikiFeet. And I will say, I am actually quite happy about that. I am actually quite happy about the fact that I am no longer on WikiFeet. And I know I'm sure it was quite fun while it lasted for Foothunter 5000 and the rest of the 3 people that probably visited this page. But now my feet are my feet. My feet, my choice. Okay? My body, my foot. Yes, victory at last. We went from
my bad. So Vox, this right here, this gentleman is Pierre XO. Hannibal and I did a live stream about Pierre a couple of days ago. Wait a minute, let me put him where he's pointed at the camera here. Him looking down. There we go. So this young man has a YouTube channel. He has been on YouTube for quite a long time, a lot longer than Foodie. He used to do a lot of drama commentary. He does personal commentary, personal videos. He talks about a little bit of everything. He is a graphic artist. He does his own like shorts videos. He's a very talented guy. But he actually had a viral video on Jubilee 6 years ago, which blew up. It turned into a whole thing. And it reemerged recently because somebody uploaded part of that video, that original Jubilee video, to TikTok. So here we are. He's actually in his 30s. He's just aged very well. He is one of those lucky ones that shall look forever a decade or more younger than he actually is. Whereas Dirty South. Sal, that is actually how I found him too, and I have been with him ever since that video. I love me some him. No matter how off the wall he gets, he is always just himself, even when he's in an existential crisis mode. He is still so charming, and he is so eloquent, and I love that about him. But we did a whole thing on him, me and Hannibal, and right. It's averaging about every 2 years at this point, based on what we saw when me and Hannibal broke it down. So I figured I would share that with you guys, because the foot fetish thing really had me just straight cutting up laughing, because he makes comments about how sexy I am, like that. And he doesn't take himself seriously at all. When he makes those comments, he's making jokes when he says it. But he was like, look, if anybody was going to fetishize anything, why would it be my feet? He's like, why? Well, the Jubilee one has been up 6 years. Abba and they did the reunion one 4 years ago. Abba and Preach did a video on it about the same time. So it's just, he kind of is going in cycles. And now within the last couple of weeks, it's ended up on TikTok. So all the Gen Zers and Gen Alphas have found him. No, actually he didn't. But he goes on live streams and would be like doing yoga and like dancing on live stream, because he's a very talented dancer. Like he would be sitting there, like he would talk about he's like, I don't know why, but my toe is hurting, and he'd hold his foot up like to the camera, and somebody in his live stream was screen capturing those and putting them on WikiFeet. And that's how this whole foot conversation came into play. But his video about WikiFeet just had me laughing so hard that I just could not share that with you guys. But like I said, he was really kind of just like, bro, he was like, why my feet? He has his moments, but he's actually very, very sociable, which is really, really, it's really kind of a conundrum, I agree with you. His voice absolutely is. And he was actually on a live stream one day, Sal, saying, I don't know what I want to do. He's like, I don't know what I could do. And I sent him a super chat. I said, if you ever get bored of doing what you're doing, you have a voice for radio, right? I'm like, you could be a DJ. I said, it would be something to get you out of the house. You only really have to talk to people every so often. So he was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't speak Czech, so I don't know, so, I have been told I could do foot porn because I have very small feet. Children's for because apparently very big or very small feet are a plus in the foot world. Well, there's a lot of jokes. I've heard a lot of jokes about this related to other people in girl world, but, I'm going to tell you, if I wanted to, I could probably dive into that too, because like I wear a size 10 in women's. I have always had pretty big feet. But my feet don't look like they're a size 10, and I have actually had people tell me that I have pretty feet, which I don't understand that. To me, feet really aren't pretty. That's just me though. Good times. His virtual dates were interesting. That idea could go further. I agree. And I'm kind of hoping he's going to go back to that. He was kind of hinting at the possibility that he may go back out into Prague when the weather starts to warm up, Charlotte, he has every time you turn around, he's got a new hairstyle, and every single one of them look amazing on him. This one, this is just something that he said he's keeping it this way for now because he doesn't have to do anything to it. He can just roll out of the bed and go. but he's very eclectic in his dress. He's very eclectic in the topics that he likes to talk about and everything. I agree. He absolutely 100% could. But I think for a while there, he had tried to he was trying to get caught up in acting. He's done modeling on and off for a while. This is actually really not the best image of him. Hang on. He's done modeling before. He's a very interesting. He dresses very interesting. That's him with box braids, which turned into a whole thing when he took those out. Him with the mohawked. His natural hair, when he grows his natural hair out with some length on it. Let me find some of the ones where he's actually been in modeling. This is him for a photo shoot as a model. He's a very nice looking guy. Very unusual in style of dress, and he wears makeup. He is very much an androgynous dude. He falls into that same realm that you would find Prince and David Bowie and Michael Jackson, very pushing the gender norms, No, actually not even close. He has had plenty of people ask him to do makeup tutorials and stuff like that, but he's not interested in that. He said he doesn't want to be a makeup bro because there's too many disturbing individuals in the makeup world. See, I figured it wouldn't take long that maybe you would recognize him from, other places online, because he has been on a couple of other things. He absolutely is. And I played one of his songs a couple of streams back. Very, very talented guy. Very talented guy. And I love me some of him. He makes me smile and he makes me laugh, and he's so entertaining. He absolutely is. He's a little bit of everything all in one, and I thought that if he made me happy and he made y'all laugh, maybe he'd make some of y'all happy and make y'all laugh too. He absolutely is. Actually, Sal, he has renounced the Flip Lord status. He is now the Prince of the Imaginary. He has changed it up yet again. You know how he is about the rebranding thing on occasion. That just happens to be where we're at right now. Oh my God, I'm behind that GABA comment was probably very random. No, it's okay. It's okay. What you mean? He's in black veils. What you talking about? Did I miss something? Right. Well, now he's calling everybody the Imaginarium. All the instead of Fliptopia, it's the Imaginarium. So he's kind of changed things up a little bit. Yeah, he's an interesting fella. I like him. I said he was the whole band of Black Veil Brides. Okay, it just threw me off for a minute. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, the foot conversation really made me laugh, and I just had to share that with y'all because he was like, my body, my foot. And yeah, he's been around a long time, but the crazy thing is not a lot of people have heard of him. I don't think he really gets nearly as much credit as he deserves for all the work that he puts in. He puts in a lot of work on all of his videos and everything. And I really feel like he should really be more popular than he is, but that's just me. I'm a little partial because I like him, So that was our Pierre positivity moment to palate cleanse us from the nasty taste that would be left in your mouth from Foodie. So hope that helped. Y'all got anything else y'all want us to talk about while we're here? We've been at this game a little over 2 hours now. I'll keep a respectable distance as not to creep you out. Oh, took a second. Took a second for me to catch that. No, definitely not as nasty as the lemon peat moss. No question. Not as nasty, but a close second, I would have to say. And for those of y'all that have not seen the Unicity products video, it is still uploaded. Y'all go take a look. If y'all want to see me torture myself for a little bit, that will be your chance, free of charge, with no side effects for you to have to suffer through, you know. So my son toured the BBB, so I was going to ask him if that's who Pierre was. Toured with BBB. Oh, he's not. Okay. I can tell you right now, Pierre is not anything to do with, he doesn't have anything to do with boy bands. He actually calls himself a boy band reject. I say I did it to save somebody out there from the torture of it all. Well, Heather, I don't know if you saw it, or if you've heard of it, but Unicity, old Foodles was trying to sell Unicity products, and was trying to say they were just amazing and they give you all this energy, and they were going to it was going to heal her diabetes and all this other crazy foolishness. So I ordered some and just tried them because she was like, oh, this tastes like creamsicle. It don't taste nothing like creamsicle. Some of it is enough to make you question all your life choices. Let's say it like that. Right there you go. Pyramid scheme, you know. So I'm going to ask, is there anything that y'all want me to delve into before we call it a night, y'all? Ooh, more power to you, girl. Nasty. Actually, it's funny that you say that, because he's actually had people tell him that, and he's said that before himself. You know, he owns it. He don't care, my dude. He's just like, yep, that's me. Did you comment on the Yaba and Sam versus Belinda thing? Okay, so, well, I actually skipped past that part where Foodie was talking about that, but I really have the same perspective on that I have of a lot of the infighting going on. But I will say this, just so, you know, input. Belinda really should have asked Yaba and Sam before she set up the GoFundMe, even though it was done from with good intentions. It did because of the fact that she didn't talk to them first. It turned into a huge ordeal that none of them had to go through. You know what I mean? So that's my perspective. She should have asked, it wasn't a GoFundMe. Okay. Well, then realistically, if you're going to do anything as a support, like a fundraiser thing for somebody else, you probably really should ask their permission or get their input before you just up and do it, because it can create hard feelings, just like it did in this instance. Now, where it went from there, that falls into the infighting situation that's always going on, and I'm not down for that. But I do think that it could have been handled better from the very beginning. You know what I mean? You're not missing nearly as much as it sounds like you are, Val. Trust me. Well, that too, that too. I mean, there is too much going on, and there are more people getting drawn into it every day. And there were two. Jesus. Okay. But realistically, none of it was handled well from the beginning. And see, and that doxing is never okay. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter who they're doxing, none of that is all right. I mean, there's no need to take it that far. There's no need for the fighting, really. But it all stems from things not being handled correctly from the get-go. I mean, if Belinda had probably talked to Sam and Yaba and said, hey, look, I want to do a stream to get donations for you guys. Sam and Yaba might have told her, nah, you ain't got to do that. We don't need anything. We're fine. And then that could have just stopped all of it before it ever started, but that's just me. That's just my perspective. But we are talking about grown people, and you can't really tell grown folks nothing. They're going to do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? But I just know from my perspective, I would have been like, I mean, even if somebody had done it without asking, I would have been like, thank you, but no, I'm good. Keep it. It's fine. And I would have just kept on trucking. But I do know that, well, there you go. I seem grown. It's so nice to know that I seem grown. I don't really enjoy arguing with people. I don't really have the energy for it, so it could have been quietly went away if Yaba or Sam would have done something after the first one. Well, that's true. I mean, and that's another part of the issue is there's not a lot of communication going on. Instead of talking to each other and working it out, there's a lot of coming online and going back and forth. And that to me is just, it seems sort of silly, You think so? You think so? They could have said no. They could have said no. She could have asked, but I don't think it was the fundraiser at all that started the fighting. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that was just the catalyst of it all. I don't know. No, she mainly negs, and she's mainly. Oh, yeah, talking about Belinda. Yaba was probably busy with family. Yeah, see, that's another thing. There was so much going on where she was trying to take care of the kids and help them process through what happened. Her hands were full. I mean, you're not missing much, girl. Zeeth and Sam interview turned down was blow up part. Okay. Well, but that's my perspective on it all. I think it's really gone too far. I think it's gone places it didn't really need to, and it all really could have been avoided if they just talked to each other. You got anything else you want me to cover while I'm here? Actually, I gotta post something in the I am throwing this into the chat so that I can pin it so that hopefully Miss Cat will see it, because I didn't see her come in this evening. She might be busy. Well, that too. Podcast. I kind of like 10 to Live, Heather, but that's just me. There I am. Can you address the drinking situation on the online law cows like Blades, Cobes, and now? Well, I mean, is there anything in hang? Come on up here for a minute, Hannibal. Let's talk about it. Have a good night, Val. Sleep well, sweetheart. Molly just did a bathtub stream and showed her floppy pancakes while drunk. Oh my. Woo! Alcohol's a hell of a drug, y'all. Good gracious. Really? I'm going to have to look it up. Right. Hannibal, come on down. All right, let's come up here real quick and you can ask me some questions. 10-4. Right. You having anything good, Sal? Val, back at you, baby. Back at you. My heart's cattywampus. There we go. Sort of. All right. So, oh my goodness. Let me copy that link one more again because I have a feeling I'm going to have to give it to him one more time when he gets back. Did he now? What did he have to say about that, Capone? I hope not, because that fool don't need to be behind the wheel of a vehicle with his issues. Anybody who bought him another vehicle is a fool. If he did, who does he have to unalive there to lose his license? I don't know, but if it comes to that, him talking about, well, my job, he ain't gonna have no job because he's gonna be in jail. January is National Human Trafficking Month. Trafficking Awareness Month. This is very close to my heart. I urge everyone to learn about the warning signs and to help us fight this because media is grossly underreporting it. I agree, and I'm going to pin that too, so that that's at the top of the channel feed. Okay. Well, first off, she is not obligated any privacy when she's out in a public place. It would be no different than somebody filming me or filming you. It would be rude, but it is not a violation of her privacy. She has no obligation of privacy when she's in a public space. That goes to show not to use Hannibal's terminology, but lack of actual research would have told him this, that it would be no different for him if he were out somewhere and somebody saw him and recognized him and filmed him. There would be nothing he could do about it. It applies to her. It applies to him. It applies to me. It applies to every major singer, actor, athlete, you name it. Anybody is open to being filmed. That's just the way that it goes. I just your mama is the embodiment of nothing is an issue until it happens in his bubble. Ooh, person brushed up against her. Huh. Well, true. I'm going to say this about them. Well, which is worse, pointing the camera in her face or down at the floor? Because I saw that little clip of nothing. It was pointed down at the floor instead of pointing it directly at her. That was their attempt, I guess, to try to be covert about things and not be rude. But them catching, first off, and this is going to be ugly, but I don't care. It would be almost impossible to not include part of her ass when they're pointing the camera toward the floor as big as her behind sticks out. I mean, come on. Jesus. Exactly. Thank you, Fed. You knew exactly where I was going with that. There is no such thing as privacy in a public space ever. I think it's hysterical that she and Chantal filmed in public regularly without consent of the people shown, but they get butthurt when somebody catches them in the wild. That's because, despite how much they say they're not, they are incredibly embarrassed of their appearance. They want to be able to have control over exactly what angle and exactly what they're caught doing. They try to minimize it as much as humanly possible. Minimize the I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. The rotundness of it all as much as they can. And when somebody else is doing it, they can't, and that bothers them. Exactly. Oh, she makes a good point. She makes a good point, Hannibal. I don't know, though. I don't know, Tragic. Snitches get their ass beat, though. Snitches are viewed almost as bad as pedophiles are, if you'll think on it. But, you know. Your mama was very mad at Alex's show. Very mad about that. Girl, that would mean you would have to. What are you going to do with the rainbow, Mike? Girl, they would absolutely have to put them in protective isolation. Snitching is only when you get told on for doing something that won't hurt anybody. Oh. Nah, it's been my understanding that snitching is snitching no matter whether somebody gets hurt or not, my dude. Just the idea of it. Is that what you mean? True. Wet snitching. Even worse, pedos became presidents, but snitches get stitches. Oh, hell. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Ooh, we don't want to talk about politics. Politics makes people get heated with each other. We don't want that. We in here to avoid the politics. We in here to not have to think about the complexities of life as we know it. Oh, they've been in and out. They're out watching. I've had their cat TV on in the living room on the big screen. So they've only been ducking in and out here and there, but they like to come in and check on me and talk to me, and then they go back to watching cat TV. They love their bird videos. Really? Really? All right. Get down with your bad self. Your mama claims not to dox. He can't read, so it's tough, but he will use doxed info that's given to him. Huh. Okay, so next time round, that's fine. That's cool, Hannibal. We can work it out another go, man. Just jot you some notes so you don't forget what all you wanted to ask. You know what I mean? Somebody threw hot tea all over the chat. Oh Lord. Have a good one, Hannibal. Let's see. Actually, I've got all the video and stuff for that. I just gotta put it all together, and I gotta work on that. I'm gonna work on that after we get off of here. But I don't know. Hang on, let me do some adjusting on on this deal right here. I don't know if you can see. My nose. Look at my big old honking nose. But my skin is as soft as a baby's booty, girl. It's nice. This will actually be the first time I've gotten one. But I did like a whole thing, like I videoed a little bit every day talking about how I was feeling and like showed you guys what it looked like, because the type of peel that I got is not a regular chemical peel. But I'm going to finish working on that tonight, and I'll have it up either later on tonight or tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I've got some other stuff in the works that I'm going to be working on this week. So I'll probably have a couple of vlogs up. You know what I mean? Hey there. Was you just lurking about, Leona? You said hi at the beginning and then you ain't said nothing since. You so funny. Good deal. And it might, I'm going to tell you, girl, I started doing some research on it and I about fell out. This chemical peel, I mean, now, of course, because of what it is, it's a chemical peel. It's going to cost, it was $500 start to finish for everything. But when I was doing research on it in Atlanta and Los Angeles, they're charging like $1,600 plus for this chemical peel. So I was like, holy moly. Well, I'm going to tell you, and you'll be able to see it because I took pictures starting the day of before I went in, and I'll do another one tonight where you'll see, the progress between the two. But most of mine was to get rid of sunspots. I had a lot of sunspots on both sides of my cheeks and everything. And it did actually, it kind of took care of some of the wrinkles here. My furrow lines on my forehead have kind of, they're much more narrow. They've decreased. It kind of took down the size of my pores too, which is another thing that was bothering me. My nasopharyngeal stuff right here kind of tightened up a little bit. And that's exactly why I did it, because, I have a little bit of loose skin on my face from weight loss. I was using a very low percentage retinol, but it wasn't really helping with the sunspotting and everything. So, see, I'm a lot lighter there. A lot of the crow's feet have kind of filled in just a little bit. My neck, the skin on my neck has actually tightened up too, which, I was kind of hoping for, because I'm trying to stay away from the old lady turkey neck thing. But I actually I got today something that's a little bit more potent in relation to strength to help me with cell turnover and everything. So, girl, me too. And that I was just like, okay. See, and look at, bless Inferno. Y'all, me and Inferno had a whole conversation about this chemical peel right when I first got it. And he was saying that. He's like, I liked your face before. It's the same face. It just looks better. That's all. And I told him I was trying to stay away from having a facelift. I said, the only kind of plastic surgery I'll consider right now at all would be buying me a pair of boobs, because I ain't got no boobs. I lost all my tatas when I lost all my weight. They kind of shrunk. And do you know, he ain't even bat an eye. He acted like I didn't even say it. That's a good fella for you when they don't even act like you said something foolish. I'm taking hydrochloroquine now, and I notice there's some discolored spots on my forehead. Might have to see a derm for it. I think I would ask about that, because I don't know for sure if that's a contributing thing or not, but definitely wouldn't hurt you just to be absolutely sure about it. Yeah, see, that's another thing too. Like all of my issues were because like in my teens, in through most of my 20s, I did not use sunblock on my face like I should have. So the damage that I was trying to counteract was damage from years ago that really was really, really hard to get rid of, because nothing that I was doing like at home, like with my regimen, none of that was helping. Spots should be checked and you might get referred to have laser removal. That's true. I'm trying so hard not to get to that point, crab apples. As crazy as it seems that I did this, I'm trying to stay ahead of it where I don't need to do none of that. Working on a moon tan. I want Botox because I already have lines. I probably need some filler now too. Actually, you know, they say that filler is not great for you, you know, but definitely do your research. No, see, that's the thing, crab apples. I am trying not to. The way I figure it with this chemical peel thing and me continuing to do my skincare regimen and taking all of my vitamins and all of that stuff like I usually do and maintain an overall good physical health, that I'm not trying to avoid getting old because I know it's going to happen. I'm just trying to make sure that I age as gracefully as I can. You know what I mean? I want to be the old lady in the nursing home that everybody's like, she is so pretty, but stay away from her because she's crazy as fuck. I've been watching these things about filler, and I guess they stay in your face and eventually, yeah. Same here. No wrinkles, but I grew up in SoCal and I have sunspots and freckles. I got loose skin from weight loss too. I'm going to definitely look into this. I have reactions to retinol. I'll give more info in the video. And cause it's Elaine something, but I'll do a whole information segment on it. I will tell you, it is not for the faint of heart though. You gotta be willing to, for real, be ready to deal with it, because you're not going to want to go out in the sun. Your skin's going to be real sensitive and all that stuff. Well, that's not uncommon since you put your hand on the window, you know. Well, excuse me. I got to say this, like all of my stuff from like my 20s, like most of my early 20s, especially, I didn't use any sunscreen. And then once I went to nursing school, I went into night shift, and I've pretty much been on night shift for like majority of my career. And, for the most part, you know, and obviously when I'm awake during the daylight hours, if I got to go outside to do something, I will use sunscreen. But that's the only thing that's really saved me from having nearly as much damage as I could. And even my esthetician was saying, you know, you've got really great skin, you know, you don't really have a lot that you need to repair. And I told her no, but here's what I do want to fix. And she said, okay, well, we can fix that. That's no problem. And it's kind of, I feel like I'm putting myself at a better vantage point for the stuff that I do regularly to help me more now that I'm kind of starting with more of a pure slate. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, I didn't either. And we need to start making that a regular thing. We need to start telling these young folks, use your sunscreen. I remember in middle school hearing and reading Suzanne Lucci said that you can get as many facelifts as you want, but your neck will always tell the truth on you. Quite true. Quite true. Yes, it absolutely did. It was either like nothing, like 15 SPF or 60 sport version loaded with oil. There was no happy medium, unfortunately. Well, but actually where's that? SH. Actually, they can do the lifts on your neck too now. My mom had that done when she got all of her stuff done. She had them do that and do her face in addition to all the stuff from the neck down. Ooh, man. She was miserable for 2 weeks, but you know, the jowliness was gone after that. Gone, but I know it had to be painful. Well, here, while we on it, explore. Who this? Uh-oh. Amberlyn Reed. Girl, real quick. This is what I was talking about earlier, y'all. How you gonna come online looking like a Shih Tzu that just left the groomers, trying to come on here acting like you cute? I mean, come on. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that y'all don't see it, because I know if I see it, y'all are seeing it too. I mean, look. Right there. Look at this dog. Wait. Look at that. Right there. Look at that. How you gonna come on here like that, trying to act like you cute? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Someone took a photo of me in public weighing in. My friends are coming to visit. Oh, shit. All right, we might have to watch that, y'all. Okay, you have one documented fan picture from Five Below. Where are all these fans taking photos, posting their photos? Do they just frame it for their home? Things Amber has filmed inappropriately. Elderly residents of a care home, other people's children, a child's grave, her friends, even though they're obviously uncomfortable, her own bloody underwear. Dude, see this. Wait. Let's turn the sound on. Or does it not have any sound? It ain't got no sound. Let's be real. Old girl just embarrassed that she got caught out in public. Just saw this on Twitter today. She was at the laundromat with her mom, according to OP. All right, let's see it. Let's just go there. We here. We might as well. You know what? I'm giving Bottle the view. I am not fixing to give ALR no damn click. Hell with her.
Asana, you have insight into all your work. It's easy.
I'm telling you right now, every time I do my eyeliner and I get to this point where it's only the outline, I always want to leave it. And then finish it up, like do my mascara, put on my lipstick. I don't know, it's like kind of cute. So a random show that I have been really enjoying lately.
Will go head to head. The winner more of a target near the cup.
Nobody cares.
And I just cannot get into it. So if you guys like game shows and you like trivia type style, definitely watch it. Okay, guys, I'm about to organize my wax melts.
One eternity later.
But a lot of these have just like a few in there. I can use those over like the full ones. Okay, so these are all the ones that are partially opened, and then these are the ones that aren't opened at all.
The next day.
Okay, guys, so
It is January 25th. I have not done a weigh-in since I last did one for you guys. I eat really bad when I'm depressed. I just like stop.
You eat really bad even when you're not depressed.
Stop caring. And I remember I was 513.8. So ever since that has happened, I haven't been able to find my footing. So the first step to doing that is stepping on the scale.
Hello, it's ready. 510.4 pounds.
510.4. It just goes to show that like since I've been out of that like depression, I have not been eating as bad as I was.
Y'all, I genuinely do not know what this vlog is. There's no rhyme or reason. That was like
never
miserable.
is.
So let me choose something to wear. I will be right to where I wore a dress that was similar to this, where it had this chest piece. And lately,
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Anyways, outfit of the day. I
Fuck.
don't know. I feel like it looks better in person.
You know what makes me sad? It's like little stains. I'm not happy about that, but you know, it's fine.
2 hours later.
Y'all, I'm literally obsessed with these slippers. I'm gonna surprise my mom
She literally was caught wearing them out in public.
and get her a pair, and we're gonna be matching. So the only book I've read so far,
Nobody cares.
Stab myself with a knife and how to get stitches. I remember.
Nobody cares.
Avocado blood, like I Walmart and get for.
Oh,
I swear to Christ, y'all, that what does it say when she has so little going on that she pads her own vlogs with vlogs from 5, 10 years ago, a week ago? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I'm so excited.
And she wonders why she's depressed, y'all. That. Jesus. Get a hobby. Leave the house.
I just cleaned my bathroom mat because it's a white one. So I actually got a new bathroom mat, but I also got some sheets. But I'm really confused why they're packaged like this. So this might be weird, but I got sheets for the couch because I do have 2 friends.
Ridiculous. You have no friends.
And I don't have an extra room. I don't have an extra bed. So they're gonna have to sleep on the couch. This actually isn't the sheets at all. I thought it was. I forgot that I also ordered the sheets for like another week. We have all been through so much. They have literally white. Fast. It says get naked because I do have 2 friends. They're actually I don't know how to word it. She's Polly. That I'm ready for the D. Dude.
The following day.
Hey guys, so it's about that time where I get my nails done. They've grown out so much. So here is before.
Meaty claws!
Oh, don't mind the siren. I hope everyone's okay. Okay, you guys, sheets came. This has got to be the funniest clip I've seen on YouTube in a long time.
Fuck wrong with you, boy? Always calling me out online.
That don't mean that you're gay, Raven, I don't. Why?
And if you know, you know, then you know, you know.
We'll make that money, money, money. That money, money, money.
But this.
What did I just watch, y'all? What was that? Was that your mama in hot pants? I don't know how to feel about that. Hang on. I'm sorry. Real quick. I'm with Tragic on this. We got to slow this down a little bit because I don't know what to make of that. Let's go 5.0 with that.
And if you know, you know, then you know, you know.
We'll make that money, money, money. That
What
money,
in the hell?
Money.
What the hell? I'm sorry. What the hell was that? What was that? What was that? I'm sorry, I can't unsee that now. Every single time I see anything from him, all I'm going to be able to see is him wearing little shorty breeches underneath the desk, y'all. I have no idea. Right. I'm not going to be able to unsee it now. You know? What the world? Your mama is a nut. He's a straight up fool, man, doing all the, I do got to hand it to him, though. He don't take himself seriously in the slightest. I do got to give him that.
But this, I just got done laughing for a good solid 10 minutes. So thank you. That was funny. That was good stuff.
You know what it is. Eat that girl, baby. We'll make that money.
Don't sound rich.
I'm out of here.
24 hours later.
All right, sweeties, you have to get off the bed. Mama's cleaning the bedding today. Black pair. I love these. They're so cute and comfy. So I just tried this Starbucks Frappuccino. This is not worth 300 calories, and this was almost $5. Someone sent me a picture of someone seeing me at the laundromat.
You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
Like taking a picture and posting it online. So I get recognized a lot in public, but there was this one guy in particular who was like wanting to buy me drinks, and he was like following me around everywhere. He couldn't stop hugging me. He even gave me $20. But I really think since so many other channels also talk about me, that I'm recognized from also other channels. I don't know what it is. Long story short, I made quite a few friends, got some numbers.
She belongs to the streets.
So yeah, it's just something that happens. And something that also happens is like people taking photos with me or of me without my knowledge. Maybe a minute later, my mom goes, "Oh my God, those other two guys were just looking at you." And I was like, "Mom, it's okay." And she was like, "They called you mommy. It's fine." Saying that fat people have sex better. I'm a fat person. And it doesn't bother me as long as it's not like a stalker situation. Like if you see me in public and you're too shy to come up to me, but you want to take a photo of me, I really don't care. It's because of some of the people watching me. It gets IRL in real life. People harass and stalk and
lazy
things, and it's vicious. And I love the people in my life, and I don't want them to be hurt. But it's always the people.
Oh my God, who said that?
Without coming up to me. Those are the ones that are always like the haters, I think. But like, I don't know who posted it. I don't care who posted it, but a lot of people are seeing it and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize Amberlynn was this big." You guys, I've been telling you from the jump that I am over 500 pounds. I have shown my body multiple times on camera, hundreds of times on camera. I am big. But y'all, seeing that photo was also like, ugh, it was kind of hard for me to see. And it's like, while I'm sitting there, like I know that I'm bigger. So I think this is one of them situations where it's like, I'm glad I saw this photo because it kind of lights a fire under me, because it's like, I don't want to like look like that anymore. And just seeing here, like all the fat shaming around that photo is just like, I don't know, it hurts. Really? Is that like society? Like, is that humanity? Like, is that really how we're going to be like as adults and stuff?
Yes! Yes!
Are we really going to go the fat shaming route? After you just got through saying that one photo is lighting a fire under you, ma'am, you know what should have lit a fire under you? The fact that you bled for 2 years straight because you had precancerous cells. Holy hell. Precancerous cells in your uterus. What should have lit a fire under you is the fact that you had to have your uterus removed. Okay. Let's talk about the fact that you fell down quite a few times because of your weight. Let's talk about the fact that you have fluid buildup around your lung because of your weight. Let's talk about the fact that you have lipedema that's out of control because of your weight. All of that shit don't mean nothing, right? Let's get a fire underneath our ass over a photo that we didn't get control of the angle of. I am so sick of her shit. Secondarily, I'm not going to believe anything that she has to say about this lighting a fire under her until she loses at least 100 pounds. I done said that before. At least. She not getting no credit from me for not nary a thing until she actually makes enough headway that it makes it look like she's actually going to stick to what she's doing. Her losing 10 pounds, her losing 20 pounds, even right up to her famous 39 lbs that she happened to quickly swallow and put right back on her body don't mean fuck all to me. What gets me is the fact that she seems to think that in all this, and this applies to Foodie too, that she's trolling us. When you know what? Every single one of us out here, we can wear tennis shoes and bend over and tie them ourselves. I'm pretty sure majority of us watching all of this can cross our legs. I'm pretty sure 95% of us watching can see our hoo-ha without the use of a mirror or a selfie stick. So you ain't trolling us, ma'am. You ain't trolling us. And I can guarantee almost 100% of the people watching out here in girl world, every single one of us is capable of being fully functional adults without the help of another human being to take care of us. So you ain't trolling nobody but you. So keep acting brand new if you want to. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, there ain't no question about that, girl. That's part of the reason why I say that, because she ain't trolling nobody but her. That's the point that I'm making, baby. I'm so glad, girl. Tragic. Kitty can tell you, and even Hannibal said it the other day. I tell on myself. If my tone don't say it, my facial expression does. I just can't. Listen, girl. Confession, my daughter is almost ALR size. She has an eating disorder since young childhood. She's on the spectrum. True. This mama has been suffering from watching her fail at losing weight. Well, here's the deal. Fed. And I am not saying this. I didn't say none of any of this at all. And I'm so sorry toward your daughter. And I know none of it applies to her. Your daughter, I'm sure, is trying, and she is doing the best she can with the efforts that she's making, you know. And I know based on what you're telling me here, she does have a lot of things working against her. And there are probably a lot of resources that, you know, that could probably be beneficial that may be hard for you guys to access because of cost and whatever else that might be impeding that. The problem that I have with ALR in relation to all of this bullshit is the fact that she has access to those things that a lot of people may not be able to, and she refuses to do anything about it, you know. And in all sincerity, I want you to know, I hope that there will come a point where your daughter will be able to have a breakthrough where she is able to actually get into, actually get momentum in getting to where she wants to be, you know. I genuinely and sincerely do, especially since you're saying, you know, that she actually wants to be healthier again. I say what I said there because Amber doesn't give two fucks. you know. That's one thing I have. It's one thing to have issues and do everything you can, and it sounds like that's what you've been doing. Exactly. Exactly. Hi, Jen T. Good to see you. Happy to catch you live, though I can't stay. It's 14:34 in Tokyo. Sending love and positivity back to you, sweetheart. It's good to see you. Well, I'm glad that you weren't, because I know you could probably get where I'm coming from and what I'm saying here. This is extremely ALR specific. You're helping her as much as you can, and I'm sure she's doing the best she can. Right. Yep. Exactly. She has had every kind of help since she was 8. I found Girl World looking for influencers to help her. Unfortunately, with Girl World, you found a bunch of anti-influencers. They're the worst ones. As the mother of a special needs child, there are things that we have very little to no control of. You're a great mom. Don't give up. Absolutely, 100%. I agree with Kitty on that. Exactly. And, it will sound ugly that I said everything that I've said about her, but the fact is that I have seen all too often where a lot of Amber's choices is going to take her, and I am not okay with it. And I'm not okay with her monetizing it. And I'm not okay with her using it as a shield to not take responsibility for herself. I mean, her being mentally stunted because she refuses to get help is nobody's fault but hers. And her sitting here blaming society, calling it fat phobia. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about fat phobia. Okay. And there will be a lot of people who don't agree with this, but in my mind, fat phobia is not a real thing. Okay. Pointing out to you that you are slowly killing yourself is not fat phobia. Okay. Pointing out to you that you have lost your capability of having children because of your decision making is not fat phobia. It is just simply facts. The fact that you are 5 times more likely to suffer a heart attack or a stroke than the average human being is not fat shaming. It is facts. And using every excuse to try to avoid taking responsibility for yourself is really kind of difficult to watch, especially as somebody who has seen people eat themselves to the point where they have had heart attacks and they have had strokes and they're completely bedbound and immobile, but then they want to be angry and lash out at the people around them who are taking care of them simply because they can't do for themselves anymore. It ain't my fault that you ate yourself into a bed. It is not anybody's fault but your own. And claiming that health at every size is a thing, it's not. There are too many. There's a list right now going of fat positivity influencers who are dead in their 30s and in their 40s. Dead. Not even including Life by Jen. Facts. And these girls, you can say you love your body at 500 pounds. That's cool. Knock yourself out. But understand at 500 plus pounds, your body is not going to love you back after a while. It can only sustain so much damage and so much of a beating. There's been quite a few. Hang on. I can actually show you some. Hang on. I got you. How long is that? 8 minutes. Oh, there's a short.
Bad acceptance activists have been really quiet since this clip dropped.
All right. So now this was clipped from Blair White, but Blair White is talking about the various influencers that she actually did a whole video on body positivity influencers dying.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get super size?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead. Join me on my fat positive radio show, which didn't last long because she died.
Bad acceptance.
Those 4 were all very big on TikTok. Oh, did I not show it? Did I not show it? Jesus Christ, y'all. Hang on a minute. Jesus Christ, y'all. Why didn't y'all say something? I got it now.
Bad acceptance
One more again.
activists have been really quiet since this clip dropped.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get super size?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead. Join me on my fat positive radio show, which didn't last long because she died.
All of those, all 4 were very big on TikTok. All 4. And they are all dead. And they were all younger than me. You know? My youngest was very overweight as an adult. Was hard to watch. Not sure if when it would have come out of her passing back on 11/26/21 from getting the C shot, which made her heart go out. I am so sorry to hear that, Tangled. And the thing about that is they don't want to they're not talking about that. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to even acknowledge that. And that to me is insane. It's just like, oh, well, you know, that's not even a thing. And it's like, it is a thing. There are things that happen that you have to be able to account for, and they just don't even want to talk about it, which is insane to me. All right, we're going to finish up this real quick because we are over 3 hours in, y'all.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Like, I just feel like we're better than that.
Yes! No! No!
Y'all, I'm actually getting ready to go take a shower and then get in bed, but I sent my mom that picture. And she was like, why do you look so sad? Because I'm like happy and I was feeling happy. So then I started thinking, I don't have resting bitch face. I have resting sad face when I'm not even sad. I do want to say for this week, I am going to do like a different type of schedule and just see how it works for me. And then Wednesday, I think I'm going to do like a Wednesday weigh-in. And then Friday, like a what I ate today type situation. It's Monday for you guys. It's like a weekly vlog. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what I like, what I want to do. Anyways, I'm going to go though. I hope you guys enjoy this vlog.
Okay, I will tell y'all. Thank you, Frosty. Exactly. Been saying that. I've been saying that. Her and Foodie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You could have fooled me, you know. I got the COVID, and it's really scary even as someone who doesn't have asthma or smoke. Well, okay. I'm going to tell you, you know, kind of what I observed and all that, you know, working with it so much. It tend to hit the people hardest that already had like comorbidity problems, you know, and even the people that didn't have like major health issues, it kind of amplified what they did have. I mean, I quit smoking cigarettes before COVID, and I went to vaping, and I only had the coop once. Hi. You come check on me. You come check on me. I only got it one time, and the only symptom that I had was being a little winded. and my symptoms were gone 2 days later. And that's mainly because, overall, I'm in good health. The only real vice that I have is this. And I don't have any major health problems. I mean, so, I gotta say, I dealt with a lot of people who worked with me that were in good health, some that were like, kind of moderate. And the ones that had like little iffy things going on, it beat them up. But the ones that did get it, they were like, I feel fine. I'm coming back with positive tests, So they, more than anything, they were kind of like, man, I can't believe I got to sit at the house for 10 days. I'm fine. I don't feel anything's wrong with me. Everything's okay. So, right. No, I agree. Having immunocompromised things going on, it does take a long time to recover, and it does take a lot out of you to be able to get back to a state of, normality. So I get it. And I don't blame you for doing what you had to do, but that whole deal, the whole deal of, a thing with no testing done, that is what made me nervous about the whole thing, for everybody, not just me, for everybody. And it was just like, I am so scared of what's going to happen, because we don't know what's going to happen, not just from the actual coof itself, but from the protective of the coof, so it's just a whole thing. And there were so many things that came out after people started getting them that I was just like, oh my gosh, I am so scared for people. Let's see. Foodie is not bigger than ALR. Her weight distributes everywhere, including the legs. Foodie's weight is all in her belly, which is very dangerous, even for skinny people with a pot belly. Quite true. Quite true. Living life. That's an excellent point. I wasn't allowed to go to work without the shot, but my boss was allowed when his wife was positive because he had the shot and he didn't have symptoms. Make it make sense. Girl, don't nothing about any of that time frame make any sense, girl. There was after I got the coof that one time, I was made to stay out for 10 days. 2 weeks later, the standard changed to, if you have it, and after like 4 days, if you don't have any symptoms or if you don't have a fever, you can go back to work. And we're taking care of other people. It's just like, I was like, Jesus H. Crikey, what the world? I mean, just the way I see it, none of that time frame made any sense. The world kind of went a little insane for a little bit. All right, go put the nephews in timeout. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. So yeah. So you guys, we have been at it 3.5 hours. I don't know about exactly what time frame it is for you all, but it is almost midnight where I am. So, and I know that the rest of you guys have got to get up tomorrow and reasonably present yourself as fully functional, capable adults. I know you have to be very cautious about the subject. I absolutely can't say anything about it or politics in general. Obviously, I mean, the YouTubies is not real kind on people discussing that. And that's part of why I do the coded talk thing, sort of deal. And that's kind of really why I try to avoid the politics and stuff altogether, because, ideally we're supposed to be here to get away from life for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? See, Heidi's on Eastern. Absolutely. And see that I'm keeping that into consideration. So you guys have got to get up and be relatively, capable people tomorrow. So I'm going to let you guys have the rest of the night to yourselves and then go to bed at a reasonable hour. Me, I work nights. I'm still going to be up for a little while before I go even think about going to bed, But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, having some laughs, just cutting up a little bit. Again, I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you keeping me company. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. To everybody on the replay, sorry you couldn't make it, but there's always next time. It's great that you at least came through and hung out with us for a while. You guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.